Erica Lorraine Spencer here. This is the P.O.C. pattern of conduct, the ongoing real-time documentation of what is the criminal pattern of conduct of federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsection 1 and subsection 2. This is the pattern of conduct underway by a public entity, that is the state of California, that is engaging in federal stalking in concert with the people of the state of California. So this is group conduct. And this is the practicing of what are the criminal elements of monitoring amongst what is the demon possessed. And so this is what is documentation of terrorism as it is underway by a public entity in concert with the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government as this criminal system is in ceaseless operation. And as the state engages in this demented group conduct, this is revealing how the public entity, that is the state of California, that is in the United States of America, how terrorism of an American citizen plays out, what that looks like, how that is facilitated amongst a people, amongst a government, how it is public corruption in plain sight, and not only that, how you formulate policy and how you prosecute that which is demonic conduct, it's demonic activity, but that which is in no way impervious to prosecution in federal court, and being subject to ratification into federal policy. This is the P.O.C. Alrighty, it is 8:20 a.m. and that is the state's method of not only monitoring but engaging in making sure that I get up. I'm at the museum and the fake sun is over the museum, and that is audible activity, that is in directed light that is aimed under the structure, the shaded structure of the museum. This is the environment, inevitably, and that is P.O.C. That is the Ontario Fire Department engaging in criminal conduct, in the criminal misuse of an emergency vehicle while they are engaged in what is, first of all, practicing demonic activity. That is terrorism, while the state is acting directly, engaging in what is the criminal conduct of federal stalking with communication devices in concert with the people of the state. That is the demon-possessed who are patrolling on this street in directed light under a fake sun. All right. It is 8:21 a.m., November 14, 2021. This is P.O.C. And to be sure, let me speak to the demons that are patrolling on traffic cameras and have been since I've been here last night. And this is the ongoing. The demons that drive on Euclid Avenue, engaging in what is crossing path concerted activity with the public entity. All right. That is a government that is demon possessed. Remember, a government is made up of people. This is a demon-possessed government body that is practicing this demonic monitoring system. And the demon-possessed people of the state of California, they are third parties engaging in this criminal system together while they're driving by. That's called crossing path under a fake sun. That's called crossing path in directed light. And the state is creating sensational activity, meaning the sidewalk, the grounds of the museum where I am, vibrating while they are driving by. That's called amplified audible activity. That's called, first of all, impossible activity creation. There is nothing that they are doing on the sidewalk over there that's going to create any vibration of the movement over here. No matter if it is a third-party group stalker on a motorcycle that the state is merely amplifying in volume. That's P.O.C., and that's a demon. And that is identifying all the demons that are surrounding in that demented environment. That speaks to the environment. And I just want to document that. That's another demon that engages in P.O.C. That's the state acting via the fire department, a demon, all right, a demonic agency, all right. You're talking about the people of the state, demons, patrolling, all right, a demonically possessed people engaging in criminal conduct together, which I am continuously documenting for that entity's prosecution. It's 8:23 a.m. P.O.C. License plate 7TSK240. And that is Frontier Airlines 51287H3 8NHR945 8TXE061. That is Frontier Airlines flying over my head under a fake sun. All right, that is targeted, and those are the elements of monitoring, and that is terrorism. All right, these elements of monitoring are entirely demonic while they are engaging in what is monitoring with communication devices, and that's a commercial actor engaging in what is I've shown to be what is commercial stalking. Stalking on behalf of a government, using your commercial means, your business, whatever it is that you do, to maintain the state's engagement in those elements, doing it vicariously. And this is terrorism. That's Frontier Airlines. License plate 7JEG455 7AMN 908 7MPV 203 6ZAA 675. And it is, by the way, 8:36 a.m. All right, and what I took a picture of, first of all, while I am walking off of the grounds of the museum, right there at the intersection of Transit and Holt, the state, acting via Frontier Airlines, flies directly over my head, and I'm reading you the demon-possessed who are monitoring with that entity. That's Frontier Airlines monitoring me with the demons that I'm recording by license plate 7A48665. And they're doing so under the fake sun and in what is directed light. I've shown you the demonic element. They're in the entirely demented environment. This is ongoing terrorism by the demon-possessed, engaging in criminal conduct. And I'm just took a picture right now of what was nothing other than patrolling. That Frontier Airlines as a means of flying over and just makes a U-turn over the building right there. All they are doing is stalking and using commercial airline planes to do so. And that's what I took a picture of. That Frontier Airlines plane goes right back the opposite direction, AATL 383. This demon, choosing from ear to ear, AAXC 133 with a communication device in operation, 6UEZ 653. 7437THO 6H40713. It's 8:38 a.m. 8LNE 314. BF57CO3 paper 5028413, I believe. DU798 handicap 8MFJ744. Trying to get some more license plates. License. That is Ontario Improvement Association. Yes, it is. Under a fake sun. You're not focused on cleaning anything. That's a demon. Using a commercial means for stalking. License 6HVD272, 8AYU953, 6CHC913, 6P71043, 7NPC210, 4XOB311, 8M, let me see, 8M, I can't really see the rest of that one, 6AKA919, 6CFB836, 8TBP931, 8LEJ397, 3GVN226, 76508K2, 20626J1, and by the way, it's 8:40 a.m. License plate 40453C3. 4JOZ635. They're all driving in directed light. This is what is the ridiculousness when you understand what these demons are doing. First of all, you have one maintaining peculiarized light underneath the bridge. in alignment to what is this demon bearing an Ontario Improvement Association logo. All right, stalking in relevant position, holding a prop in his hand. That prop happens to be a broom while you are surrounded by directed light. This is how you're capturing and prosecuting the psychopath. Okay, directed light is covering the street. The fake sun is over this, over my location, over me, where you are stalking in the path, and there is absolutely no form. These are the demon possessed engaging in that criminal system in concert with the demon possessed government. 8 KLS 139, 8 TBF 497, 6 XMW 314, 8 CLW 353, and this is stripping down and showing you the psychopath, the sex offender, the stalker. All right, the demon possessed. These demons have nowhere to hide, and you are seeing the demented actors in their bare form, because they are literally hiding behind company names and props in their hands. And I'm showing you what's a psychopath. Psychopaths do that. UPS 2010 8XXF 160 8HDD 496. That's not a license. That's a piece of paper. 239 ZNN 3PJF 251 5007 7W13213 COLOME. I don't know what this crap is. I'll get it in a second. License, I read that one already. 3WBK 708, 7UMS 487, 8MXN 756, 6V12543. All right, light activity while the state flies over under the fake sun and in directed light, prosecuting all these demons that I continue to identify. COLNME 7HCL 282, 6CMW 284, 8JHC 238, 8BEY 238. I'm sorry, 328. 205 LG handicap 8RQF 431. And so while the state flies over in a commercial airline plane, that is the people engaging in stalking commercially under the fake sun and in directed light, the state is creating light activity across the whole street as though a shadow is being created by the plane. That's a very well documented tactic. License AR31W20 paper 8HZF 844 8SWS 298 8KLP 052. Ontario Police stalking in that same demented environment. 8G46756 5DBV 098 21534F3 7AAV 549 25140H2 6UJT 561 5CAO. Oh, I can't see that one. I'll get that in a second. 8EKY 979 8YAP 275 8UJU 046 5LTJ 828 8EJU 597. License. I can't see that one. 8MIH. I can't really see that one either. But I believe this is 5CA U044 8EVK 149 6WRK 607 7KTG 831. Alrighty, and it is 8:44 a.m. State's fake sun remaining right here at the intersection where I am. The state creating that light activity. Let me be clear. The demons know that I've already itemized their whole system. 00602R1, 6NSM 916, 5JCP 521, 32063K2, 52451T2. 38210G3, and such acts of terrorism, all right, as I'm documenting, including OPD, including shadow of a plane, 8BGM 792, 7HWPO25, 8WJP 942, 8SPN 548, 7LGY 297, 6X96271, 8, I think I read that one, 8XPY 103. 8G 97624. is prosecuting on the Ontario Improvement Association, who has no form, and it is prosecuting these demons that I'm identifying by license plate and these venues, including Zolos Bidiaria, license 8KOY379, BS76MO1, 8LEP425, BS59, can't see that one, DPSY, looks like 3 characters. It's prosecuting all of them, but let me be clear, they do that. The entity that is the entirety of that system that is fully exploited and revealed on the internet, and I'm going to prosecute it, does that. This is a pathetic conduct. To distract. It's not distracting. It's evidence. 8KHM258 is clearly monitoring and stalking with that government in that demented environment, okay? And Zolos Bidiata, there is nothing that they are serving on their menu that is superseding the demented environment that they are serving it in, and they are stalking on behalf of the state in that environment. 8PAW996. License. 6WMZ222. And they are therefore also engaging in what is terrorism with that state that's creating such impossible light activity while a plane is stalking, flying over my head under a fake sun and molesting me with directed light while they are intentionally maintaining presence of the path, meaning these demons whose license plate I'm reciting. 7CHM898. Inside of these restaurants, inside of these venues, they are stalking as well. 357 WF handicap. 5 U.S.C 303. 5 LDC 167. 8 RXC 649. 17808W1, including inside of the checks cash MoneyGram. It is on the internet as RIA Money Transfer at 100 Euclid Avenue. Going inside of that venue right now, maintaining presence, stalking in the path. 4GMF418, and that was at 8:45 a.m. going inside of that venue. You are stalking in the path. I don't care if you're clocking in at work. You're in the environment, and that's what's superseding. 8VVY200, you are vicariously present on behalf of that state, and you are a demon-possessed stalker in that demented environment, all right? And you are going to be prosecuted. That's nothing but a venue where the directed light is covering that building and the fake sun is above it. All right. Also documenting what is an ongoing molestation while directed light moving all across that venue. There is no form, and there is nowhere that a demon can hide. 6NDH127, 6FOBO15, 8PRK949, 86311P2, 8TCP240, 4RQB172, 7UTW738, 6CEH684, 7XFS813, 8NZD972. 5YVC687, 6ZAA675, 6FJD398, I believe. It is currently 8:48 a.m. See, 6GRJ440. And understand the molestation that is ongoing while I'm documenting. They're all molesting together. They are in an environment, they are stalking, all right? You're stalking in the environment. You're not present under any First Amendment rights. You're stalking with the government that is operating the system. You are stalking and you are molesting. That's why the fake sun is over. 8SSL667, 7GJB159, 6RXJ755, 8855A handicap, 58324E2, 80561H3, 7WHT745, and they are accomplishing their same sexually perverted objective, which is to molest. And this is why you have what is a fake sun and directed light, okay? At nightfall, what are they doing? They are engaging in predatory conduct, the same predatory conduct, waiting at stoplights to touch. 6GRJ440, 7PFW854. I read these. 4TLB898, 7KSX483, 6NPF394, 71963E2, 6SJN100. And while, again, acting true to form, demons, all right, are crossing paths. You have what is the directed light that I've shown you in video after video, streaming beside their vehicles. I will happily deport 3GVN226 if that is not an American citizen. Happily deport. They are unwelcome in this country. All right, engaging in that terrorism, acting in concert with all of them, and is a violent sex offender having no business in this country either. It is 8:50 a.m. 25129M1, 98402M1. Demon-possessed stalkers maintaining presence in the path. That's the P.O.C. in this alleyway in between the Ontario Boxing Club and the Beauty and Barber. This is right here on Holt. They're stalking in the path. And let me give you a picture of that, because this. And hurrying up to cross path while I use my camera. 6WYN601. That's a demon. Knows exactly what I'm doing on my phone. I took an image of what is stalking in the path. That's what they're doing in the middle of that alley. All right, they're maintaining presence in the path. It is 8:51 a.m. JD, can't really see that one, or the rest of that type. 8HTK008, molesting. 6ROE397 is molesting. All right, you have another one stalking in the path. She's standing in the middle of the sidewalk while this directed light is present. That's a demon. 74515P2, 8FAU195. That's stalking in the path, okay? While the fake sun is en route moving. And there is absolutely no form. All right, and hopefully let's get, because I know the entity's been listening to my documentation where I was making vivid illustrations with Lupita's Furniture, 8CDJ390, which is nowhere over the state's fake suns, nowhere over Lupita's Furniture when I'm in Upland. Remember that. 8EVN739 and would never be captured over that venue. All right, you have what is license 73955E3 and 12689X2, stalking in the path, 8FSD614, and they are sex offenders the same, manning the path while I'm being molested with directed light, standing in front of what is a venue. All right, and demons are very, very predictable. Adjusting the furniture on a truck while directed light is all over the sidewalk. Understand how demons operate. And this is 213, like I said, Lupita's Furniture engaging in sexual violation and willing to lose her little raggedy business while she's engaging in criminal conduct. 8UNF765, 7MAC611, 7XBN179, 8NXD267, 8XOT668. All right, and while Lupita is opening up her business, guess what? The directed light streaming across the sidewalk and at the top of the building and the fake sun over it, following me from the museum, is absolutely revealing what is really wrong with Lupita and what she is actually doing, and it's criminal. And if Lupita's not an American citizen, we're going to ship her out of here. We're going to shut down that business because it's a means of criminal conduct as well. It is currently, 8:53 a.m. God dang it. Let me show you this. That is Lupita's Furniture again, 12689X2, engaging in an ongoing sexual molestation while she is using her business, which is a venue that I just showed you. The fake sun is directly over at 8:54 a.m. All right, while they are stalking in the path and the state is engaging in that sexual violence of molesting with directed light, while demons are patrolling on Hope Boulevard, and while the fake sun is directly over her business. Using now that vehicle, this is a demon, using their vehicle, their brake lights, to engage in loitering in relevant position. While that demon listens to me say that, then they pull off, okay? They've been engaged in an ongoing sexual molestation, loitering in relevant position on the sidewalk. It is the same conduct of sitting in the alley, the image that I showed you. These are demons that are driving by directed light across the storefronts. This is P.O.C. Lupita is a demon-possessed stalker, okay? 94156H3, and like I said, let me be clear, if she is not an American citizen, her business is going to be shut down and she's going to be shipped up out of this country. All right, her business is being used as a venue. Criminal conduct, 5SJN056, that is threatening the life of an American citizen with knowledge of the documentation, okay? Knowledge of the documentation that I've already published about her and that business. 7EBL548, this is the pattern that the demons engage in, all right? And you have what is 8NSB540, and you have what is the state's light source over your venue. That's a threat, 8PFF240, and you have what is the ongoing sexual molestation by that which is not sunlight, that which is never naturally occurring in the environment where your business is nothing but a venue. 5BBV8698. I'm sorry, that's a paper plate and I can't see that. And that's audible activity by a demon. That is a sex offender, all right? That's P.O.C. And that was Lupita's Furniture with the fake sun over it at 8:49 a.m. P.O.C. and a sex offender, okay? 7V1L454. Sam's Liquor right across the street. I've already documented the state engaging in aiming its directed light on this same street in the evening after keeping its fake sun over the same street. All right, that is what I showed you last night. You're looking at what is the state's fake sun, aiming light. I'm capturing a picture of the fake sun through the building of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, where at the same time I'm in the city of Upland, and the state is keeping its fake sun over the venue on D Street. That's what's supposedly sunlight that's filling that venue, going from side to side, one side of the building and cycling it all day long to the opposite side of the building, like the sun is remaining on D Street. That's what the state is doing at 4 o'clock in Upland over the Upland Public Library. Remember that, right? What is the state doing at 4 o'clock in Fontana? As I step out at 4:45 p.m., as I've already shown you, it's keeping it over the roof of that Fontana Lewis Library. But you have what is keeping it over Lupita's Furniture, which, by the way, at this time at 8:49 in the morning, I'm showing you a picture of it. That is farther than the state's fake sun was yesterday at 4 p.m. The state kept its fake sun right there over the property. It didn't go anywhere. Now, as I'm moving west, this is the state's fake sun moving. Lupita's Furniture is farther than Ontario. I would never be able to capture it if it was over Lupita's Furniture. It never went over there yesterday because I never went this direction. All right, and that's the ongoing common sense of what Lupita was engaged in right now, 7DCJ871, 7ZPU474. But not only that, you're talking about what is already the established pattern of stalking and molestation of my person with that which is not sunlight and unnaturally occurring under that which is not the sun. Lupita is present with knowledge of the documentation and present to engage in that sexually violent, terrorizing conduct with the government while its fake sun is over her venue. All right, that's P.O.C. Alrighty, and all of that is going to a surefire prosecution. These are demons. All right, at the Holt Boulevard Car Wash, the state's fake sun over this venue, impossible to coexist with remaining over invisibly through the entrance of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, including Ontario Police. KUCH 074, 8NPE 766, 8XIW 535. And this is so sad. Wait, when people go to federal prison and they're going to regret these pictures that I captured, these videos that I captured, they're idiots. Woefully unprepared for a prosecution premised on documentation. 6MMT 243. All right, license 21721Z2, 45026X1, engaging in terrorism, stalking with the police who are at the car wash monitoring as well under the fake sun. 8UL U204. It is stalking with light using their brake lights. The same conduct. It's just at a car wash. They're demons that have towels and soap and water monitoring with the Ontario PD. It's 858. And recall, understand this, Ontario PD and Holt Boulevard, it's a venue present, engaging in that ongoing sexual molestation. They're one entity. There is no separation from that. So I'm going to document these sex offenders who were molesting my body while I'm at Lupita's Furniture while I'm walking down the street, and the fake sun is right over my head. All right, this is license plate 6WIN 782, 7XXJ 637. All right, OPD is license 1462881. And let me be clear, this is the passive-aggressive symbolic method of threatening by the entity. All right, they're doing it under the fake sun. They're doing it in directed light. They're doing it with OPD having a track record of stalking. All right, demon-possessed stalking. 33732W2 directed light is on the asphalt. This is symbolic, meaning with Ontario PD here. 7XXJ63. Oh, I already read that one. BZ791. That's handicap. 04807 handicap. 8RRT 081, 8PLB 284. Let me show you this. All right, I'm showing you what is the car wash, which is a venue under the fake sun, washing the Ontario PD's vehicle. Let me be clear, these are demons, and they are a defeated bunch. License 8KDR250, 6WIN 72. And first of all, you already know what this is, but let's just break it down even further. Let me give you just 1 point. Okay, because the point has already been made. The prosecution is a surefire one. 7HCH412. Where was I yesterday, 24 hours ago at 9 o'clock? I was nowhere in this direction. 9 o'clock in the morning, and then even at 9:48, 9:45, I'm showing you the fake sun that's over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, and then the state moves its fake sun to be right over me at Wells Fargo, where you see those demons as they're driving by, directed light swiping back and forth across not only me, but across that Wells Fargo building. But 9 o'clock, you're talking about B&G Plaza. But I'm showing you right now what is a demon stalking via Ontario Police at the car wash, 45026X1, And I captured that damning image that's going toward their prosecution, speaking to a venue, speaking to malice, speaking to terrorism, all right, and speaking to what are the tactics of demons. This is what S.I.I.S legislation is going toward addressing, all right. Federal stalking under Title 18 is addressing what the Ontario PD are doing right now, what the whole Boulevard Car Wash is doing right now. They are monitoring. The environment is present. There is zero form, but you're talking about understanding how you're going to prosecute the demonic, demons, and how demons conduct themselves. And showing you images like that, a stalker bearing a law enforcement uniform at the car wash in relevant position under the fake sun in directed light, and that nothing, a picture is 1,000 words. It's worth 1,000 words. It speaks more volumes than all of my analysis. It speaks for itself. And there is no form that demon hiding behind that uniform, that's hiding behind the business name, and clearly under the fake sun has anything to say. I'm going to prosecute. It is 9:02 a.m. where I'm capturing that image of that fake sun. Hello, license 8HRD 380 BT69J24. That's paper. And they're all over here monitoring together. And let me be clear, the Ontario Police Department engaged in that so many times under the state. And by the way, different times of the day. I'm talking about in the middle of the afternoon. It's 9 o'clock right now. This is the same P.O.C, state's fake sun, over my head at the same car wash. Ontario PD using this venue to stalk in the path. Demons. Psychopath stalkers. All right? Psychopath stalkers. So I needed to go get that. That's what I'm capturing. And let me be clear, that Ontario Police vehicle, the venue, that's the state acting directly. That's the state acting vicariously. All together, demons all together under that same fake sun in the demented environment, in other words. All right? You are looking at what are demons. In the natural, superficially separated by what appears to be some sort of status. You're talking about demonic activity, so you're going to get past these veneers that demons rely on. 8 VMC 434, 8 VPA 174, because what you just witnessed yet again was a criminal concerted activity, 7X YU 951 of the police with the people of the state. Demons monitoring together, terrorizing together. All right, 23103U1. He's begging to be deported. He stops in the middle of the street, and let me show you the fake sun, and this is the demonic behavioral patterns. All right, I'm showing you what are the demons' patterns of stalking with light. And not only do I have two shadows right here on the asphalt, this demon is using their hazard lights. That's an act of terrorism. Again, that's license 23103U1, acting and using a second vehicle for MOC 754, and doing so under what is the fake sun. And this is what I'm showing you. This is the commercial for the people of the state, the demon possessed, who are stalkers. All right, engaging in what is facilitation of that environment for monitoring. This is the practicing of demonic activity. And let me show you directed light that's on the grounds. Also direct evidence as to what this demon is doing. All right, and what I took pictures of again is this is the engineered light that's hitting a surface, and the shape of the window is hitting. This is the mirror-like image. This is the shadow activity inside of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. You're seeing the partition where there would be no shadow like that. And it is appearing, the flip side of it, on the very ground. You're seeing the top of the chairs. That's not going to create a shadow behind the chair. This is what is occurring right now. And this demon opens up the apartment of 102, all right? Right here at the Vine Apartments, 131 South Vine Apartments. He opens it up. Why? Because he's crossing path. He's walking in that directed light that I just took a picture of. This is a demon that's entirely focused on me and engaging in the activity creation. And so you have what is the shape of the window that is appearing on the ground. That's engineered light. And I also took a picture of what are double shadows. And so I just stepped in that. This is the engineered light. This is the environment where he is stalking with flashing lights, hazard lights. That's a demon. That's the demonic environment that they follow with. Okay. And he literally just walked past, opened up the door, and and closed it back in order to cross path while I'm taking a picture of what is directed light. That's a demon. All right, doing nothing other than crossing a path, creating activity, being concerned about where I am and what I'm doing as I'm using my phone. Okay, and he's doing all of it under the fake sun. All right, the Hope Boulevard Car Wash, monitoring still to that. They're present. They're not going anywhere. That's a venue. And I want to be clear, this is how the entity is maintaining presence and light activity everywhere you go. Okay, that is again using I read the license plate that he's using, but I want to read these license plates on the street. 4NCE835. This demon is speaking to what all of them are doing. And this is exactly why you read all the license plates. You can document them because the venue is present. You're not hiding inside of any venue where you live. You're not hiding at the venue where you work. The environment is here. You're present on behalf of the state. You are actually hand in hand with that government that is a sex offender. That's why you're creating that light activity. That's why you're pacing around like a psychopath in what is absolutely unnatural light activity. You're monitoring, and you are a psychopath. They want to pace around in their element, in that demented light. That's what he's doing. That's really what he's doing. License plate 4MOC754. I want to read that one again. Okay. He accesses the apartment. He accesses the cars. He's just sitting in his car with his flashers. And let me get 8VVE617, 7VHR680, 84264E1, 7ZYS529, 6FWE635. And it is 9:08 a.m. 131 South Vine. Directed light on the sidewalk in front of the venue. Double shadows on the asphalt. Flashing light by a demon contributing to the environment. Okay, that's what they do. That's entirely demonic while they are stalking in the path as a group, and they create light activity. Understand, they are in engineer light. Engineer light covers the ground. This flashing light, it's an enhanced light tactic. And he's doing it under the fake sun. That which is clearly not the sun. That's over me at B&G Plaza. I take a picture of it while I'm at the intersection of Plum and Hope Boulevard. And as I walk north up Plum, the state's fake sun is over me while I am at the end of what is B Street and Plum. And I walk through the parking lot of the City Hall, the 280 North Lemon Apartments. I've already shown you this. And this is where the state's fake sun is while I'm at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, in between that library and the 280 North Lemon Apartments. This is why I capture video well before 9:30 a.m. where the fake sun was planted. All right, and you have what is understanding the stalking with light. License 7RMZ945, a demon-possessed stalker. She's in Hope Boulevard is a very broad street, and while she is driving east, she is crossing path, and that is also why directed light is streaming toward me, impossible light activity, just like you see on the walls of the Shiro's Liquor while those demons are driving in the parking lot. License FRIASZ2. It's 9:09 a.m. Here we go. We've got a line of demons coming. This is called meeting at the pathway. This is stalking. 3VUB 569. 7FLE686. All right. It is currently, by the way, like I said, 9:10 a.m. This is the intersection of Holt and Vaughn. All right. Showing you what is directed light while a demon is stalking in the path, knowing exactly where I am walking, engaging in presence. And then you have what is the act of terrorism while directed light manifests on the ground while that demon is crossing path under the fake sun that is following, keeping above me. 7VME549, 7HBD400, MTL4093, and that's Texas. 7HOT979, and that is revealing what is stalking by those very third parties. The people of the state are stalking with the entity that is following me with an environment, an unnatural environment, a demonic environment. And these are the demon possessed that are the third parties, the people of the state that are stalking corporately. And that's terrorism. And that's exactly what they're doing. And that's why I'm able to capture, again, the impossible conduct of light streaming down and appearing while you're merely driving by. And you have what is that, which is not the sun that's over me. License 10636W2, Operations Communication Advice. 30064R1. 8VZF724. And by the way, what you're looking at step by step for me to capture that video over that end of Vine and Hope Boulevard. The state's fixed sun is no longer over me at that Hope Boulevard car wash, by the way, where the Ontario police are captured engaging in federal stalking and the communication of a terrorizing threat. In concert with the people of the state, the Ontario police aren't engaging in that terrorism by themselves. They're doing it together. 8 EOD 335. The state's fake sun moved from that Hope Boulevard car wash. I would not be able to capture that if that was actually the sun that was over the Hope Boulevard car wash, but let alone, I would never even have that documentation if that was actually the sun remaining over the Ontario Owen Family Community Library. 8 UDT016, but you already know this, where the state's fake sun immediately deviates from that position, where it remains as long as I stay there, to being directly over the Wells Fargo, hovering over that building, which would set it afire if that was actually the sun. 5AA 5675, none of which would ever occur, everything that I documented in Upland, again, if that was actually the sun that I documented day in and day out already in Ontario. ATNZ 684, where the state engaged in providing the wealth of documentation as though the actual sun remains on Hope Boulevard for the duration of the day. Not just on Hope Boulevard, but over me on Hope Boulevard, over the building that I'm inside of on Hope Boulevard. And so then you go to Upland, California, and then what you gonna do? You're showing that you're a psychopath and you're a demon-possessed one. Because now there's no sun in Upland, right? There's no sun in Upland. There's no sun over the ceiling. That doesn't coexist. Because what the documentation is showing is that there must be more than one sun that I clearly captured day in and day out, over, not just over the ceiling, over, directly over me. 8LWL181, 8KLB 886. There must be more than one sun that's over the Upland Public Library and then remaining over me in Ontario. 65332W1, 5R74868, 7XCZ512, Omnitrans 1545812, bus 2352. 7XCZ512. It is 9:15 a.m. and the state's fake sun, you're going to remember, is cozy over the 280 North Lemon Apartments as I'm sitting at the shaded area. And I'm documenting demons that are sexually molesting me there while they are monitoring my podcast. Remember, that's what I was documenting. They engage in more of that heightening of that harassment, touching me even more because they're scared I'm about to publish my podcast, which I published that documentation of the molestation in addition to my podcast, showing what is a sex offender and a psychopath with knowledge of everything that I am doing on my phone, i.e. engaged in federal stalking. It is 9:15 a.m. and I'm entering inside of the parking lot. I'm in the parking lot, of the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And that's why you hear plane engines over here, not flying over, making U-turns anymore over the museum, following me, like the fake sun is following me, like Frontier Airlines was documented following me. All right, 7PGK990, and I would be on the surveillance cameras of the Ontario Village Shopping Center. It's 9:16 a.m. 7THV585, 8ZEY427, 8WNX237, 5BRF350. Uh, 6SOC080, 4PRS292. 65425L2. Yeah. And BX167 handicap. All right, let me show you give you an example of demons. You hear them opening and closing their doors? That's exactly what they did a second ago while I take a picture of what is the fake sun over their truck. They can buy whatever they want inside of Stater Brothers. They're a demon-possessed stalker creating activity as I'm using my phone. That's a stalker and a psychopath, all right? Directed light is on the side in front of their vehicle. Right it toward me. That's a demon focused on me. Again, that's license 65425L2. Directed light behind their truck while they drive off. The fake sun is over. Directed light is underneath the shaded structure of the Stater Brothers. This is P.O.C. It is 9:18 a.m. State's fake sun is over the 280 North Limit Apartments. P.O.C. All right, I just want to document what is the ongoing tactics of the demon-possessed. So while I'm inside of the venue, the state will, first of all, is entering through the entrance doors. This is the state that's stalking inside of a venue. And while they do so, this is simultaneous conduct, demons. All right, they're of one demonic mindset. This is demonic activity happening on a constant basis. It is systematic, all right, while you're surrounded by demons who are engaging in cooperative criminal conduct, all right? So while I am at the deli, I am asking a question. This is a new movement. This is activity I'm engaging in. You'll have what is a demon that's entering inside of the entrance. And as this is concerted conduct and it is simultaneous to what I'm doing, these are demons stalking with activity. And while I'm in the midst of asking this question, you have what is the state filling the venue with exceedingly loud noise. And what's the form? A vehicle that's so loud it's filling the store with that sound of some accelerating vehicle. That's audible activity. All right, and you've already seen what is the demented environment. That is activity that is contributing to, that is the environment. All right, they're maintaining the environment inside of the venue. Demons entering inside while that is created for that purpose. Everything that they are doing when they are doing it is for that purpose. Going to the entrance and slamming down a cart, that's what an employee just did right now, and they're doing it in directed light, which is underneath the shaded structure of the entrance of the store. There is absolutely no form. I just want to document that. Those are the tactics of what is terrorism. The entity stalks with noise. The entity stalks with light. The entity stalks as a group, a demon-possessed group that is following you everywhere that you go. All right, and doing so inside of any venue where they're also manning the bathroom. And so you're going to imagine this in your mind. This is terrorism and that is sexual violence. The demon-possessed are maintaining that same obsessive focus while you're inside of the private space, while you're physically indisposed, while your genitalia is exposed, while they are maintaining real-time knowledge of what you are doing. These are the demon-possessed who know exactly what you're doing inside of that private space. They also go to the extent of what I have documented of engaging in entering inside of that private space to stalk inside of the private space. All right. Now, okay, that's just, and that's why I document that, because that's going to go to prosecution, the entirety of that entity, including that mother that wants to bring along her children to engage in this sexually violent, predatory terrorism. All right, in concert with the government, because that's how she's going to be prosecuted, because that's what she's doing. All right. It is 9:22 a.m. and that's P.O.C. Alrighty, it's 9:28 right now, documenting at 9:26 a.m. the state aiming directed light inside of the store. This is impossible light activity that is manifesting inside of the venue. All right, that same just light just appearing in the atmosphere, and while these demons are around like they're focused on grocery shopping. All right, that's a psychopath and that's terrorism. And they're stalking in the path inside of the venue while the state is engaging in that conduct, and they are acting with the state. All right, this is P.O.C. and I am capturing images of what is stalking inside of the venue. It is 9:29 a.m. at Stater Brothers in aisle 4, P.O.C. All right, 8EEY240, 7FJN531, 8UUR788, 6HGE924, 4PRS292, 7BSW587, 8TCM454. And I took images of what is directed light that's on the ground beside the vehicle, 6HGE924, convicting him. Okay, I read that one already. This is the same venue of the Village Shopping Center, the Stater Brothers, where they are being the demon possessed that are stalking in a grocery store. It is the same exact template, a different type of venue, the same pattern of conduct. Okay, you are stalking in a venue where the state's fake sun is over that venue. That is clearly not the sun. Why is it here? Because the pattern of conduct is underway. And I'm also showing you what is engineered light. While you are grocery shopping, it is no form for the same demonic presence. These are demons that surround, stalking with what you are doing as you are doing it, in operation of their communication devices, monitoring all together, acting as one ginormous psychopath entity that is maintaining presence inside of that grocery store. You're not working as an individual, exercising your First Amendment rights, earning a paycheck. You are not shopping as an individual, exercising your First Amendment right to shop at what is Stater Brothers. It is known as a venue. This is what is superseding the pattern of conduct. You are cloaked in the state's presence, all right? That is speaking for the venue. That is Stater Brothers, the Ontario Village Shopping Center. That's why the venue is here. Fake sun, engineer light, I'm being molested, and you are stalking in the path. Period. You have what is terrorism inside of that venue, and that's what I'm speaking to. And everything that they are doing is serving that ongoing P.O.C. It is psychopaths that surround. It's 9:36 a.m. And again, 24 hours ago, where am I at? The state's fake sun is not possibly. I'm sorry, let me be clear. The actual sun, we've already established that this is not any sort of argument that I need to establish that this is not the sun. You're looking at what is stalking, what a fake sun, and heavy duty stalking, just like 6HGE 924. What can I help you with?
Buy you something to drink?
Why do you want to buy me something to drink?
I mean, you like it just so you're passing by or something.
This is audible activity. I just bought myself some orange juice. This is P.O.C. What's over here? License 6VWH452, 6VPD 792, 5XWR 414, 4SXH 842, 7N31693, 56108R2. ASWZ 525. Dang it. 8RJF 371. 8WWN 688. 12659T1. 7LTT 571. I don't even know how. This is under the fake sun in directed light. Starbucks is a venue. Directed light across the drive-through wall while this demon, whose license plate I'm about to read to you, 7RLB 594. Direct the light across the wall of the drive-thru. They're monitoring with the state that's flying over the street. And that is Southwest Airlines. All right, showing you what is the state's fake sun that's right over me, speaking to what Southwest Airlines is engaging in, and there is no forum for that. They are stalking in the path, and they're always very precise to my location where they are flying, and that is hovering. That is Southwest Airlines engaging in federal stalking, 7MNT418, and directed light is sweeping across the exterior wall of Starbucks where the drive-thru is. Stalking in the drive-thru is form for relevant positioning, all right? It is not legal form. This is what demons rely on for what is an ongoing state system. 6YGF 927, 8MFA 862, 6BIK 626, 8VJ 8447, 8UUR 788. Yeah, I documented that one already. BR43D99, that's paper. 7UPF 033, 8TAF 342, FLIPMIX, 8DUR 307, 6UXJ 660. Let me make sure that's correct. 6UXJ 660, yeah. Yeah, I read that one. 8UUR 788 is group stalking. I already documented this group stalker, okay? So he's sitting in his car waiting for me to cross path, walking through the parking lot of Starbucks, monitoring while Southwest Airlines is flying over my head, okay? I just want to make sure I clarify this particular demon-possessed actor, because they're all monitoring together, but that one in particular, that's what he's doing. 5SKU115. It is, by the way, 9:42 a.m. All right, following into the parking lot. License 8RJF 371. And this is directed light in front of the vehicle onto the wall, in front, on the wall, on the ground beside while he's crossing path in the parking lot. You're stalking. That's following into the parking lot. That's the impossible light activity. It's 9:43 a.m. All right, I'm taking images of what is a demon-possessed stalker. First of all, you're looking at what is operation of a communication device. You're stalking in the path. You're under the fake sun, and this is a molestation while he opens the door, and I'm being molested with what is directed light. All right, and he's intentionally engaging in that conduct with real-time knowledge of what I'm doing. Looking like he's focused on his phone call. He is engaged in movement in real time as I pull out my phone. He knows exactly what I'm doing, and he is a sex offender molesting me with what is directed light unnaturally occurring while he opens his car door. It's malicious conduct. It's 9:45 a.m. Alrighty, license plate. 4VKN253. 8XDX 865. 7XVS 713, 8TWU 438, 6LPY 711, 8EXU 917. It is currently 10:13 a.m. Six VWH 452, 8 SRA 932, 3292 TR handicap. BQN 137. It's 10:15 a.m. All right, monitoring. Stalking via Starbucks, 7GJB 945. And I read these license plates, and they are crossing paths in the video under the fake sun, 4PUY 893, which is over here at 706 West Holt, the Starbucks. That is engaging in federal stalking right now, engaged in what is ongoing harassment and terrorism while I was documenting inside of the venue, 6CED 532. All right, and this is nothing less than what is demon possession by you fill in the blank, okay? 7GJB 945, a demon-possessed stalker stalking on the side of the street, pulling off is under the fake sun, using their brake lights, monitoring with a communication device, okay? Listening to every word that I'm saying. 8CUA 887. This is P.O.C. The state's fake sun is not possible. I'm sorry, let's change this, because we already know this is the fake sun. The actual sun, 39354E2, would not possibly be over what is directly over my head at 706 West Holt, and yet remaining over the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. First of all, I'm showing you what is a picture of the state's fake sun while I'm standing inside of the library, and the state is aiming directed light inside of the depths of that entrance of the library, okay? Now, at prosecution, that's some insurmountable direct evidence, by the way. You have what is right now at 10:18 a.m. The actual sun would never be here if it was remaining until 4 p.m. Understand, it's 10:16. This is farther than the state's fake sun was yesterday at 4 p.m., where I'm capturing the image of the fake sun through the entrance of the library. I'm inside. I'm in front of the elevator. The state's fake sun is not moving toward this location, nowhere near the Starbucks on Holt Boulevard. That would not be visible. But you're clearly looking at what is that object glaring through the doors and directed light filling that venue of the library. This is how you know what these are. These are demons that are stalking. CR026 handicap. Demons. Being in the drive-thru are demons that are stalking, focused on you to be around, be where you are. That's how you see and understand what is this demonic light that's moving across the Trujillo truck parked on the street intentionally. 8EXU 917, intentionally placed there, okay? And they are stalking, moving through the parking lot, stalking, sitting in their cars in the parking lot, stalking, sitting in the drive-thru, 6LPY 711. Demons, all right? Psychopaths. That's entirely demented group conduct. And you have what is the ongoing environment that is the direct evidence. It's not circumstantial. That is the direct evidence of what is terrorism, federal stalking amongst the demon-possessed. All right, that's what terrorism is. While they are stalking together, stalking as an entity, stalking with activity, and stalking with an environment, a fake sun. 20626J1. Let me be clear. The fake sun is not possibly ever reaching Starbucks as I'm capturing it at 4 p.m. It is 10:16 a.m. The state's fake sun is right here over me at 706 West Holt. 4 p.m. it doesn't even move that far. It's still visible through the entrance of the library. The Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, 3SWY294. All right, and I already exceeded that when I'm showing you what is the fake sun that is over me at Lupita's Furniture. Okay, where she went out of her way to engage in group stalking with the fake sun over her business at that time in the morning with knowledge. She knows that I'm uploading that, publishing that information about her from February 2021, and that demon-possessed stalker went to engage in P.O.C. again while the same directed light was molesting my body this morning as I was walking down Holt Boulevard. That location was advanced beyond where the state's fake sun was yesterday at 4 p.m. as I'm capturing that image of that fake sun object glaring through the entrance doors and directed light filling that venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. All of that impossible to coexist with what is clearly not the sun over the Upland Public Library in the city of Upland. All right, so what are these that surround? Demons, 8JKG638. Demon 4HBZ635, Demon 1399983 on bus 1269, both driving that bus and sitting on that bus. Demons. Okay, this is P.O.C. It is, let me get this, 8CUA887, and this is what you need to understand. Under the fake sun, you are not running a business. You're a demon that's focused on the one who you are monitoring. And this is what you need to understand, and that's the reality of it, because that's why the absolutely unnatural, i.e. demonic environment is present. You have what is literally the government running a con. The people that are living a con, these are cons. This is why you're stripping down and understanding the significance of what is that environment. 7CCA812, because that is making bare before your eyes the psychopath. The demon-possessed psychopath. That is a violent sex offender. All right? That is acting as a government through the very people together. This is a demonic system in operation. All right? And you have what is acting in the natural as though this is ordinary life in the state of California, and it's not. 8VSV960. Psychopaths engage in this sort of conduct, and this is revealing it in bare bones. And those psychopaths flying in Southwest Airlines planes, flying in Frontier Airlines planes, doing so under that same fake sun in that deliberate environment is the deliberate conduct of that demon-possessed conductor flying that plane over my head, stalking with the state. That's a psychopath. All right? In that exact same environment, doing so using planes and helicopters. Demons together. All of them demons. Demons having different statuses. Demons working at the Starbucks versus demons wearing police forms versus demons that are working at the airport. All right? It doesn't matter where you're at. This is the state system. All right? And that is revealing what is that is Satan in operation over a people. And how are you going to prosecute that? Because they're engaging in criminal conduct. This demonic activity, light activity, and relevant positioning, first of all, it's inherently sexually violent. The demons want to touch all the time while they're stalking you, and doing so with an entire environment. That's absolute terrorism. Doing so while they are stalking with noise, while demons are focused on you, looking outwardly like they're focused on something else, and they're entirely focused on you. A demon, like I said, like I've been teaching you, doesn't have to look at you, doesn't have to say anything to you. The demon is present, focused on you under a fake sun and indirected light, all right, with amplified audible activity. All of them together maintaining an ongoing chorus of audible activity while they're focused on you together. That's terrorism. And psychopaths that surround, who are equally engaged in that concentrated focus when you are in the private space. The demon-possessed know exactly when your panties are up, when your panties are down, know exactly what you're doing. The obstruction of the wall, this is an illusion of privacy. When you're talking about demonic activity, which is very real, let me be clear, you can prosecute the demon-possessed as they are sex offenders based on their objective conduct, not based on what they are inherently capable of doing because they are demon-possessed. All right, you can't prosecute based on what you know that they know, all right? You have to prove what they are doing in a court of law, and what they are doing is called federal stalking. They are monitoring inside of a private space, and this is where 18 U.S.C. does not go far enough. All right. You were talking about a government that's acting vicariously through the demon with the identity of 8JQW010, 8HLK443, sex offenders who are monitoring inside of that private space, stalking in that private space. And that's why you have what is a fake sun remaining at 215 East C Street and after 4 p.m. And then you'll have what is the fake sun early in the morning at 10:16 in the morning, as I'm showing now, right here over my head, well beyond the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. None of which is coexisting, capable of coexisting. We're trying to argue that that's the sun that was over me in Fontana, California, or in Upland, California, or remaining in the window where I've also documented at this time I am in transit and the state is keeping what is not the sun in the window in that same perfect alignment with me, while demons are surrounding, stalking. License plate 5GXZ429, 4FMT689. All right, and the demons that you identify by the name of Starbucks, this is how and why they're going to be dragged in federal court. They are terrorists, and they are violent sex offenders. It doesn't get any more violent than that when you are a sex offender, all right, engaging in such sexual violence with a government. That is also why you are a violent sex offender of an unprecedented nature and size. And then you engage in what is harassment while the target individual documents that. It doesn't get any more violent than that, and egregious in that infliction of suffering. And that's what Starbucks is documented having engaged in. 6TID 907, though, let me be clear, the voices that you're hearing that are acting as baristas, those are demon-possessed stalkers inside of that venue that I documented, where I'm outside now, and those demons are inside of Starbucks monitoring. That's why the fake sun is over their venue. And these are demons that are lining around the venue in the drive-thru. That's why you have Southwest Airlines flying over my head, the fake sun that's right over my head, and directed light across the building of the drive-thru where that demon whose license plate I read was driving by. There is no form, they're demons. These are psychopaths. And you're going to prosecute every demon in every type of venue. Because they are present on behalf of the state. The government is made up of demon-possessed actors in the state of California. This is what is wrong with this entity. All right, and you're going to prosecute it, and this is how you do so. What are the implications? I'm showing you what are the implications. I'm showing you what it is that I already showed you. All right, and so I'm breaking it down. So like I said, I have already shown you this, so I have broken it down into little meat pieces so that you can metabolize the information. This is demonic activity. The demon-possessed are engaged in federal stalking, all right? And this is how you have what is the fake sun over my head at 706 West Holt and the fake sun remaining for the duration of the day at 215 East C Street, the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, okay? And that is to the exclusion of all that analysis that already exists while I'm in an entirely different county, in a different city, in a totally mutually exclusive position where that same fake sun is directly over my head and that same engineered light is all around. Okay, that's the P.O.C. It's 10:27 a.m. Eight RGW 612 5V. It's good, man. I'm eating ice. 5VEB 012 7JXM 933. All right, 8874 ON2. 8WYK 129 7TU. I can't really see that one. Yeah, that's 88740N2. Making sure I got that correct license plate. License 3XNB775. That's Union Pacific. A demon-possessed conductor, all right? And let me be clear, the state engages in just playing a tape of the sound of a train, by the way. That's what the state is doing at the museum. But nonetheless, you're going to prosecute Union Pacific, who has physically arrived to engage in P.O.C. 72966F3. BE06D63. BE06D63, I believe. That's paper. 8GLR086. Okay, she's bragging about the fact that she went to U.S.C. U.S.C. is full of the demon possessed. Okay, do not be impressed by the academia of the U.S.C. All right, it's in the state of California. Guess what? Relevant positioning, the fake sun, directed light, the same demonic activity on the campus and in that city of U.S.C. All right, there is nothing impressive about that, and that's the reality. License plate 8JSK 218, excuse me. 8DZN 169, I believe. All right, license 8DSE 390. 8VJS 059, 7RMS 050, 384, I can't see the rest of that one, 6FRY 938, 54401S2, 4UGF 425, 5ZZX 195, 6WMB 172, 5, I can't see that one, 8KQG 134, 8VZD 752, 8TOY 310, 8UND 513, 8FUB 659, 3227 6W1 7FJP123, 7MPZ519, 8RGW612 is now exiting the driveway. Starbucks, loitering in relevant position. All right, license. WYJ889, 5SVR352, 6TJQ918, 6LM4660, 8CUB852. All right, I'm going to get these demons across the street at Tom's, 7THP035. Tom's #1 world famous chili burgers at 701 Hall Boulevard, to be specific. All right, this truck that is used as a surface for federal stalking, I'm gonna prosecute them for terrorism. And this is a demon-possessed stalker that's engaging in the placement of such a surface at the street. Understand, this is what you're looking at with regard to the elements and the intentional conduct, so that they can engage in systematic demonic activity. You're talking about demon after demon. This is what I'm speaking. There is no exception. License plate XP38725 of a Trujillo. That's the name of this truck. Yeah, Trujillo Milk Carriers Incorporated. MC559663, US dot 1485614, California 295745. And it is 10:32 a.m. All right, did document what is ongoing P.O.C. So while I'm capturing that fake sun and movement and that terrorism, these demons that are sitting in their cars are monitoring, okay, in the parking lot in relevant position. And that's how that goes, 7JHC028. And then the demons know that I'm coming. So now they're acting like they're moving, but they really are moving, and it's called activity creation while they do so. But those are demons that are trying to flee. All right, license 4455582, 67701Y1, 6VIJ044, 5HGJ387. Four WPS 332, 6UJN 156, 7YPZ 596, 8SMU 176, 7AOC 501, 7VKL 222, 8HSG 329, 8TXL 781, 8XEZ 572, 8DIV 713, 5BTA 686, 7THP 035, paper plate AW69B31, 7GJT408, 60YJ370, 5B33008, 8RNN073. Eight SCP 907, 8 SQE 292, 8 CPU 444. That's a demon honking their horns as I lick my lips. That's a new movement. Stalking with activity. It's a demon, which you also see through the environment. But that's how focused they are on me. Entirely psychopaths. And this is terrorism while you are surrounded by demons. All right. This is breaking down that demonic activity. 8RTX256. And that is Tom's Burgers at 701. Monitoring. All right, and every time I'm documenting the fake sun over me at Starbucks, understand Tom's Burgers in relevant position. This is what I mean by the prosecution. All right, there is no form, and they've been engaged in P.O.C. All right, 8TXL781 engaging in terrorism, stalking with the Ontario PD. 31337N2, and what I captured on video is Ontario PD. That is the terrorizing threat by the entity that is stalking. All right, you have what is the simultaneous conduct of the state flying over by plane, fake sun over my head, and Ontario PD being in the path. Okay? That is the pattern of conduct, by the way. That's not a coincidence. All right, and that is a demon-possessed stalker flying a plane, a demon-possessed stalker driving a police vehicle. That's the reality of what's going on. 50167J2. It's 10:39 a.m. 7RQD061. 8MQM 656. Eight LAG 065, I believe. 8VQX 754. Thank you. 7CQD 455. All right, this demon in the parking lot on the drive-through of Starbucks, which is stalking. 8SWS 776, 6WOS 085, 36325H3. All right, and so now you're understanding what is the stalking by airplane and doing so in a deliberate environment, creating light activity. And that is Alaska Airlines. Taking images of that, you hear it on the podcast, that's Alaska Airlines at 10:40 a.m. taking an image, stalking with the people in direct light under the fake sun, and also creating what is supposed to be the shadow. I don't think that's supposed to be. That's just the entity engaging in terrorism, and that's going toward every documented actor that I'm documenting right now. They are engaging in that terrorism. They're demons acting as one, stalking all around while a plane is flying over, and this is supposedly the shadow of a plane flying underneath the fake sun. The fake sun is so low, the plane is so low that it's creating a shadow. All right? That's the non-argument. 5HRP829, 5K94127, 7ZJL606, BX29, can't see the rest of that one, 52155883, 8VYL628, 6ZT, I can't see that one, 50133B3. All right, that is speaking to the demented environment and the demented actors that surround the demon-possessed ones. That's what that is speaking to. License plate 1BOU 561, 7VCR808, 7PSY 262. The state hovering again in another plane as though it's taking off from the Golden Bear Hotel. All right, and this is what the state is doing over the museum, like it's taking off over the museum. Or while I'm standing at the intersection documenting those minions there, like it's taking off over Hope Boulevard. 8XVX267, 28822P1, 6BGX630, 55978Y2. No license plate on that. License 8VCW682, and that is Southwest Airlines. License 8HIZ390. 8WUX 169, 7EZX 548, 86258C3, 6Y92214, 07011A3. $57017. 57017. F3. 7LNS214, 219ZY handicap, 6RAL260. BKO109, I believe. And I believe I read these demons' license plates as well inside of the 67701Y1 inside of that Tom's Burgers parking lot. 8UFY369. Let's see, license 8SWS776, driving out of the Starbucks parking lot, 29387A1. $7KOB369. $7UPF033. 5VWS063. 5RLM330, 5V, I can't see that one, 8SJV701, 31337N2. 7T53512, 7LYR147. All right, these are demons, just light across that truck, moving in both directions now, just all over the place when there's not even any cars driving by. Meaning, not that that's going to happen as a car is driving by, but you're talking about just getting sloppy with their form. This is how demons try to act like, oh, that's reflection off my car. That's sunlight, right? Breaking that all the way down. You have what is the flurry as these demons are being documented. These are the demon possessed. They're going to burn in hell, and they're also going to be prosecuted. They're going to burn in court. They're going to be sizzling in court. 7 TPW 751, 8 BQY 528, 6 BAL 633, 19536Y1, 7 JBP 154. Looks like 9M79, but I can't really see that. 58374R1. And what you're going to remember, this large truck, aside from the fact that this is demonic activity, and that, let me be clear, they provide their own neon sign, the fact that they are demon possessed, okay? This is speaking to every single last demon. This impossible activity, it's called demonic activity. Impossible, unnatural, this is synonymous with what is demonic. While they're engaging in the criminal elements of monitoring, okay? And while you engage in that, every single last one, this light activity occurring, for the seamless ability for that to occur, this is speaking to the very broad demon possession. There is no exceptions, is what I'm telling you. I am the exception, all right? And that's just the reality. I am the exception. This is speaking to, they are revealing themselves as they engage in that. And that is actually true. You know them by their deeds. Your actions don't lie. Your mouth lies, all right? Your false deeds that want to falsely depict who you are. But what you're doing, that's done in the darkness, that's not a lie. That's the truth. All right? And that's what they're doing. And it's on a neon sign, okay? 6YGA552, 4AWN. I can't really see that. You can scratch that. 8YHN840, 8RCP602, 6DD, I can't see that, you can scratch that, but it's 10:47 a.m. and that truck is a marker. I showed you what is the fake sun while I am on what is as far as this truck is concerned, would be the east side of that truck that's remaining parked on the sidewalk. All right. As I walk to the truck, you see the state's fake sun, which keeps alignment with me. And then you see the fake sun at the west side of that truck. And I'm showing you what was Alaska Airlines flying over my head. Where do you see the fake sun? Because I moved, the state's fake sun, and you see it movement in real time. That's necessary movement. 7 KOB 369, a demon-possessed stalker. The state's fake sun is back on the east side of that truck. All right? And that's what you're looking at. That's what you're witnessing. All right? All of this is not coexisting with what I documented just yesterday, where the state was keeping its fake sun necessarily over the entrance of the Ontario Open Family Community Library from essentially 9:18 in the morning, right, and 4 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm capturing an image of it through the doors of the library while I'm standing at the elevator. Okay, this demon loitering in relevant position, 5YV. K625, substantially similar. That's a suburban. Engaging in the demonic pattern of stalking. 5TVR294 while they study their communication devices in directed light. All right. Monitoring with the demons that are patrolling around, monitoring with the demons that are loitering in relevant position right by me. All right. They're all a network of communication devices. They're all monitoring together. 6YGA552, 8BQY528, just in case I didn't read those. They're stalking via Starbucks, stalking with Starbucks, in other words. 8FAH049, 8 SIC 567, 8 UVE 360, 7 TGM 737, 8 WOG 751, NY8 WOG 751 drives by, directed light on that truck while they're driving west, 7SHH 575, 6267 4S1, 6MNM 564. 4APD 451. 6W ZC 281. 7T. I can't really see that one. 7SBT 134. 8SMW 823, I believe. It's 10:49 a.m. 4VZZ 270, I believe, or 770. I can't really see that one. You can scratch that one. Uh, 8WFC 189. 6WWM 012. 8HIZ 390. They're all coming from Starbucks. 8SKY 213. 7GAB 124. 8MOC 003. 8DAZ 887. 8WAF 148. 6PHX 042. 8VSV 960. When you are hearing these third parties that are talking to me, this is audible activity while they are monitoring with communication device. And be clear, because don't be deceived by that. They're not being friendly. They are posing a malicious threat. They are creating activity in direct light, aware that I'm documenting, also wanting to be a distraction from that. And they are monitoring me in that manner. 8VZF724, and I'm not distracted by it. You don't be distracted or deceived by that. It is 10:51 a.m. I just want to give that note. Come on, that one. 8JHU 874. 30997N1. And it's 10:51 a.m. Oh, pray tell, how would you ever have a sun over my head over the Upland Public Library? 8LZP574, Omnitrans is monitoring. 5JVD445, 6DBV338, 8HUK833, 5TNF246. Omnitrans 1399979, referencing the camera as well, P.O.C. License 8UVE360, Omnitrans is stalking in the path, creating light activity. There is no form. And this is what I'm telling you. This is how you're identifying demon after demon and all the ways they do it. 5CLE 128. Present while that same exact demonic 4574 OT2 light is occurring on that truck. Impossible light. Driving a bus is no form. 79308R2. All right, that's P.O.C. You're seeing how demons are acting in what is an entirely demented society in the state of California. All right, you itching to be out here in California? Unless you want to catch a spirit, I suggest you stay where you are. 7LYR147. All right. Thank goodness I am impervious. That I am impervious to that spirit. Did not catch me, and believe me, obsessively trying to have me of this same condition. And I am not demon possessed, and Satan can't touch me. And let me be clear: when he can't touch you, he will stalk you. This is what the entity is doing. The demonic entity acting through the people. All right. That's what this is about. It's spiritual at its core. Not trying to preach, but this is the reality. That's demonic activity. 5AWK988. 7ZTU226. 7RSF722. Excuse me. 7RSF722. And so unless you have the soul armor for resisting demon possession, I suggest you stay away from California. 8LNS508, 4JUL224, 7CQB382, 6XXF335, 6HYT997, and there's only one antidote for that. 5SXC020, 7NE, I can't see that one. 8HJC152. All right, and all of whom, it doesn't matter how many demons they are. All right, Satan is no match. Satan is inferior, and this is why you have one, uno, nuno, and I'm going to, in one foul swoop, I'm taking the entire
the entire entity down. And not only that, not only am I identifying demons, all right, and that's going to go toward not only their prosecution, but you're talking about their punishment in the natural, all right, but you're talking about those who are defeated in eternity. I mean, these are losers in life, losers in eternity, and being shown their most shameful secrets that they are demon possessed. 44664B2, outwardly living their life like they got a poppin' in California, and they don't. 5HGZ400. Eat, be merry, for tomorrow we die and burn in hell. That's what they're living. 5PPW816, because that's exactly where they're going. License plate 6EHX349, 6LBY529, 7PXB242, I believe. 40263G3, 5YSK100, 5YHG965. 3622 5Y2 CA. You can't really see that. That's an Arizona plate. 8YCW. Can't see that one. 7ZAG034 CAA08. I'm sorry, CAA85C, and that's Arizona. In the parking lot of State Brothers Starbucks. 58374R1, loitering in relevant position in the parking lot. Stalking, engaging in surveillance in the parking lot of Starbucks. License plate 7TJZ740. It's 10:55 a.m. and that license plate is pulling out of the parking lot now. License 6UQP911. It's 10:56 a.m. 7COF718, 6YGA552, 6VBC273, 7AWZ861, 7TXA604, 8XRY372, 6AUY253, 8LEK873, 8UTB555. This is U-Haul, AJ86427, 7WQZ890, and that's an Arizona plate for U-Haul. A lot of them are Arizona plates, I noticed. 8UKT155. Let me be clear with regard to the prosecution and the target individual's documentation of a government that is monitoring on behalf of and in concert with the people. 8TRZ845, monitoring a third party such as a U-Haul vehicle. A third party group stalker using a U-Haul vehicle where third party, U-Haul is a third party. They are monitoring at their third party facilitating venues. And you have a third party that is utilizing the vehicle of another third party, 8WUT182. It is identification, period. All right. And there's no distinction. Well, you have them using the truck of another. No, they're both third parties. 8XYX929, I believe. And that is identification of that third party actor. Ontario Police. Under the same exact fake sun that I'm showing you that is remaining at 3:01 p.m. over the Ontario Open Family Community Library. This is a demon-possessed stalker, 1532793. Vehicle 1883. 8JYT120. All right, and I took an image of that so you can see that vividly. We are beyond the Ontario Open Family Community Library. First of all, we're not even in Upland, where the state is keeping that light source over me in that city and in Fontana, okay, and en route to said cities. And you have what is the state's fake sun advance beyond that location, and that's just an illustration to show you what the Ontario police are engaging in. It is a demon in a law enforcement uniform, okay, under that fake sun, which is captured directly over the Ontario police while they're driving in circles demonstrating demon possession under the fake sun that's hovering over that turn circle at 3:01 p.m. Let me be clear, it's 10:58 a.m. where I'm capturing that. 8V38691, and that is beyond the turn circle where the state was keeping its fake sun. All right, that's P.O.C. License NKG2315, that's Texas. License 7WZX763, 8SLF892, I believe, but I can't really see it. You can scratch that one. License 5UTK754. Yeah, 5UYK754, excuse me. 7JDW629 41015. That's a license plate. 80772V1, 8LDC 826, 8CIF 407, 7GXZ 725, 8AFR 204, 7XDL 407, 6. No, I can't say that. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Taking images of what is the state's fake sun over me at San Antonio and Hull Boulevard at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll never be able to capture what is the state's fake sun that's over me in Fontana or Upland, 4ZUA755. And that is the prosecution of the people of the state. All right, that is resolving what is their condition. That is demon possession. This is demonic. What they are doing, they are stalking and monitoring with communication devices. And who are they doing it with? The state of California, the public entity, a government body. License 8VIC292, 6AST494, 8RJF371, 5REW046. Three 6225Y2. Coming to make a U-turn. That's a demon. License 8RUH532. All right, license 4UBZ635. All right, let me make sure this is correct. 4HBZ635, 8YGU852, and 8TJK297. BEEZ364, 7SYR006, FedEx 96497D3, 7BLR928. ZTD008, BLDT, hold on, 8RBT675, BLDZ, I can't see that one, you can scratch that one, BHSG323, XCP660, 5ZBY820, 6AWH214, BM11R30, 8TQR53, or 358, I can't really see that, 18560X2, 4YRC934, 32395W2, 8VHK485, 55204N1, 5YLR755, 8MXX905, 7PXM721, 7SOT861, 7SEF246, PFM1525, Texas 1164D2. It's 11:05 a.m. at the intersection of San Antonio and Holt. That is in between the Starbucks, the Ontario Village Shopping Center, the Tom's Burgers, the Golden Bear Inn, 7RKU068, 7F15683. UMZ245. CTG 1866. That's an out-of-state plate. VEY 902 55255 V2, I believe. 7JBY 518. VNK 753 7NSW 245. (203-9482) 7WAY 724 88TK 656 7RYB 945. That's amplified audible activity under a fake sun. 7RIV291 7HWU 243 8SHY 370. So sad. Fallen people, demons, and who'da thunk? I'm gonna be dragging them in court. 5KPX 820 8UHD 339 8TWS 602 BR S9 232. That Washington plate covered in engineered light. Speaking to what all of these demons are doing. 8UND 513, 8KMU 240, 7YZL 886, 8HNT 108, 5BTR 555, 6PVR 739. Hurrying up for me to document. No prob, Bob. License 6D 62953, 4XUP 586, 5GVY 340, 4XOY 425. All right, these are demons that surround. These are terrorists that I'm identifying. Demon-possessed terrorists. 7FNZ653. Yep, sex offender. She hears me talking about her. 8SHY370, because that's the truth. License plate. That's why you got directed light beside your car. 6XJT153. You're a demon-possessed terrorist, a criminal who is stalking. 8WEV579, 6TCM749. That's why there's directed light aiming horizontally underneath the structure where the shopping carts are, because you're a demon-possessed terrorist and a sex offender. License plate. That's 8LRG759. It is 11:08 a.m. All right, capturing what is directed light. Well, that demon 6AUY253 pulls up, and he's stalking with activity. I'm using my phone, and they are arriving in the path, and the directed light swiping underneath the structure. All right, as his crusty old Civic, which is not reflecting sunlight, nor is any brand new Honda Civic reflecting, that's directed light, just like you saw on the side of that truck, just like I'm showing at Starbucks Liquor, just like I'm showing on the sidewalk, on any building where demons surround, okay? There's shadows appearing on the brick wall because they're walking, crossing path in directed light and doing it intentionally. These are literally the living dead that are surrounding you. Psychopaths. It is 11:10 a.m. All right, 7RLA742, in case I didn't read that one, and I'm showing you what is a minion that's maintaining stationary presence. That's like the third party that stalk on the side of the road with their headlights on. All right, you've got directed light that's surrounding, directed light that's moving while the vehicles are stalking with activity, and this group stalker is standing in operation of a communication device. That's exactly what they're doing with their hazard lights on the side of the road, with their headlights on the side of the road. This is what you're seeing a demon-possessed stalker doing outside of a car. That's exactly what they're doing while they're stalking with light. All right, so I'm showing you what's the directed light. What is the fake sun that is now over the entrance of the Stater Brothers? They're doing the exact same thing. That's P.O.C. It is 11:11 a.m. Alrighty, that is relevant positioning and activity creation as I am at the restroom. And understand that this is what the entity is prepared for as I enter the venue. That's manning the path. And so you have what is entering the bathroom and maintaining presence. And you have what is the men's restroom that is maintained. It's unlocked. They have codes on their bathroom doors. I'm just describing to you because everything that they do is deliberate. The men's restroom is kept unlocked right now. And you have what is a group stalker that's in the bathroom right now maintaining presence. I did not enter. I'm still being monitored outside of the bathroom. This is an intent to engage in sexually violent conduct, stalking inside of the bathroom. That's what the intent is. It's 11:15 a.m. This is Stater Brothers. 11:19 a.m. This is stalking in the bathroom at the venue of Stater Brothers. You are looking at what is the absolute impossible existence of that ever being the son. This is a violent sex offender that is engaging in stalking in the bathroom. And that is the direct evidence of that, the predator. All right, that is aiming direct light and keeping a fake sun over the library in Upland. And it is clearly here, and this is with knowledge of documentation and entering the private space to engage in that obsessive, predatory, and sexually perverted stalking activity. 11:19 a.m. P.O.C. And someone's crossing path as I start recording. That's amplification of activity coming from outside of the bathroom. I'm standing in front of lane 4. And this is a demon that is stalking with activity with knowledge that I'm in the path, okay? So as I walk by using the hand dryer, that the state is amplifying. And what I took a picture of at 11:24 a.m. is the employee who was stalking in the path doing the exact same thing by opening up the tobacco cabinet, right? Slamming, that's audible activity. What you hear behind me, using the grocery bags, right? Stalking with noise. This is what the demons are doing. They're maintaining presence in the path, maintaining activity as you move. All right, and that is what they're doing inside of a bathroom. That's a demonic actor, knows when I'm walking by. That is why you have that activity occurring, and it is amplified. That same hand dryer that you're hearing, the state amplifies it while I'm while group stalkers line up in line inside of the grocery store. You can hear it at the back of the line in the aisles, right, where the inventory is. That's P.O.C. and that's stalking with activity. It's demonic, and you have the employee engaging in that as well while I'm paying for my food, coming to stand in the path and slam that tobacco glass container. All right, this is terrorism. This is how the entity acts as one, and it's ongoing inside of a venue where, by the way, the state's fake sun and directed light is present. It is 11:26 a.m. also, and this is in the city of Ontario at 646 West Holt. This is P.O.C. And this is documenting, this is the demon that, the demonic entity that came to stalk inside of the bathroom, okay? That's P.O.C. Alrighty, stalking in the bathroom, 5FJU394, 6JXX220, 8LRG759. Stalking in the bathroom includes 2VCJ952, a violent sex offender, okay? 8TBP171, SLTAYLR, 8SHY370, 8SAE544, 254NK, handicap, 8ERV154, 7FMA849. All right, 6UUH510, 6UYR951. All right, 5CNS137, and listen to that helicopter because that's the entity that's stalking in the bathroom. 8URX958, 8PHT321, stalking in the bathroom. All right, a very demented and predatory sex offender. All right, and direct evidence of the sexual violence. You do not have a fake sun, both over me at Upland Public Library and over the ceiling, aiming directed light onto the door like that's sunlight. I told you that then that wasn't sunlight. All right, understanding what I've already published and I've already demonstrated. That's a sex offender. The same entity, 8SQK739, a demon-possessed stalker of the same entity that engages in stalking inside of a bathroom. 18 U.S.C. 2261A, subsections 1 and 2 does not go far enough. 7ZTU226. This is what the policy that I have designed, understanding how the demonic engages in federal stalking. This is a whole other level of monitoring with communication devices by a people, through which is a government. They're in the shoes of the government. They're in the government's environment. That's why the fake sun is over them while they're stalking in the bathroom. Stalking someone in a bathroom. That's a very absurdly peculiar method of stalking someone in order to monitor. This is how obsessed the demon-possessed are. You're going to prosecute for that. That's terrorism. Sexually violent terrorism. 7Y10467, stalking in a bathroom. 8 PPF 948, stalking in a bathroom. 8 SAE 544, having a field day, slamming his trunk in front of directed light under the fake sun while the state's sounding helicopter activity, and stalking in the bathroom. 8 PPF 948. 6 CHC 913, stalking in a bathroom, and is molesting me while I'm outside. All right, this is the sex offender. 8 AED 530, 7 POV 592. And then you're talking about monitoring the documentation. 17922J2. Yeah, I'm touching all over your body. I'm stalking you wherever you go. I'm listening and engaging in surveillance and watching while you're in the bathroom, pulling your panties down. And I'm going to go in and enter again right now and go into, that's what the state is communicating when you're doing that. And the ordinary target individual is reasonably terrified by that. All right. And violated at an unprecedented level. Violation. 8 PSZ 741. And let me be clear, the demon possessed have every intent to violate in that regard. Every intent, okay? But for documentation, right? You're talking about the ability to prosecute for that sexual violence. This is a perpetual sex offender for a term of years as a matter of documentation. All right, but the government is a perpetual sex offender that is operating the system, and you're going to prosecute the people and the public entity for that. License plate, and this is at third-party facilitating venue that's not familial whatsoever, stalking in a bathroom at your local Stater Brothers markets, calling itself some family-type venue. It is not. That's sexual violence. Your family will be violated. They're violating American citizens inside of the bathroom at Stater Brothers. 7UFE 663, stalking you inside of the bathroom at Stater Brothers. That's what they're doing. All right, and doing it in concert with the government that is flying over the venue in helicopter, keeping a fake sun, engaging in all matter of terrorism, in other words, at your local Stater Brothers. 254 NK handicap. Loitering in relevant position. This P.O.C. It's 11:31 a.m. The state's fake sun is advanced beyond its location yesterday at 4 p.m. Where it remained aiming directed light inside of that venue of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. It is right now over the parking lot after remaining over me at Tom's Burgers and Starbucks. All right, where I'm over there keeping its light source over me. 692 MVY. All right, and that's the significance of capturing what is relevant positioning in the bathroom. That's stalking in the bathroom. All right, that is heavy-duty, demented, and depraved stalking conduct in a bathroom. That is the government that's in that bathroom stall and intentionally present. All right, 7MNS 333, a demented terrorist stalking you in the bathroom, following you into the bathroom. 7YWF776, and the fake sun is well beyond what I'm capturing at 4 p.m. inside of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library. The state's fake sun at 11:32 a.m. right now over me at this venue is impossible to coexist, and that's clearly not the sun that is over me at the Upland Public Library, over the roof of the Fontana Lewis Library, while the state is, by the way, aiming what is directed light and not sunlight inside of the windows onto the floors and on covering the walls, molesting my body inside of the Fontana Lewis Library. While that light source is directly over the sky space over me, over my head in the parking lot of 646 West Holt. 6CCX 560 in the city of Ontario. Okay? That's P.O.C. Seven UGV 312. 6 VKU 514. 7 BBJ 372. 7 SPD 978. Yeah. In case I did not read this one, but I believe I did. 8 ERV 154. Stalking in a bathroom, 4EZ X380. Molesting with directed light. Stalking on behalf of a government, okay? And she's old as dirt. It's 11:33 a.m. That's audible activity while he's stalking in the path in front of me. I'm about to read his license plate right now. Directed light on the road. He's focused on me. 8FHH734. 8MAV 527. 8C 54193. 5CLT 905. 7LWB484. She's a sex offender. All right, let me get these sex offenders back here. Filling the parking lot up behind me. Alrighty, let's read. This werewolf stalking in directed light. 8WYW569. Stalking in the car, all of them with their communication devices. Demons 8URX958. 6CHC913. 8UHD3. Hold on. 8UHD 339. 8TWS602. 6J70569. 8PUR250. AX98G22. That's paper. 8AED530. 7UGV312. 8UND513. 7UEE663. 39577B3. 7HPG657. 7THE929. 6VPD792, 7Y10467, 9792OU2, 7RSH262, 6WON564, 8VVG287, 8VKS225, 4VDP575, 8RZU287. All right, I'm making sure I'm reading these in this aisle in case I did not. It's 11:36 a.m. Alrighty, the same demonic activity, the same environment. Alrighty, and this entity stalking in the bathroom, that's ongoing documentation of the entity stalking in a private space, engaging in that terrorism, entering inside of the private space to engage in their demonic conduct. 8FQM130, and to facilitate, in other words, enable the ability for the government to be inside of that bathroom with you, where it has no business. AC46M59, that's paper. 7SPD978, 8PJF784, 6LRV701, 8EEY240, 8FPC973, 2VCJ952, 4UDB428, 7SWD591, 8HVF141, 8RSE523, 7EIU727, 8F36270. Stalking in a bathroom with a kid, 5FJU394, molesting with directed light with a kid. Stalking and terrorizing with a child, and that was that same license plate. 8TKX531 is crossing path, operation of their communication device. 8DNU048, 8VEH047, 8DEM060, 5XMB156, 7UHD890. All right, so it is 11:38 a.m. and what I'm showing you is an image. You're recalling when the Ontario police, for example, are stalking with activity and their audible activity is, "Can I call someone for you, Erica? We go back." All of that is audible activity of a demon-possessed stalker bearing a law enforcement uniform, okay? And the state's fake son is captured in video at 10:52 a.m. while I enter the Ontario Open Family Community Library. It is right now at 11. This is just an ongoing example. This is how you're analyzing it. It's remaining over that venue, and that's what I showed later that same day at 1:14 p.m., giving my illustration of the fake sun over me in Upland, over me in Fontana, and over me at what is Ontario, which is impossible to coexist, maintaining that central presence over my head, replete with that state's engineered light. And you have what is remaining over that venue of the Ontario Open Family Community Library. But what I'm capturing today, and this is supposedly the sun, and so that would be the same conduct, but not when I'm leaving that venue. 8WAE484, yeah, I'm going to document you. You have what is the state's fake sun over me keeping in tow with me while I have already advanced well beyond that library, but you have it remaining stationary at the library while I'm there one day. And this is what is impossible to coexist. The state's fake sun is not remaining over everyone's head everywhere that they're going. It's remaining over my head everywhere that I go. And it is also coexisting with what is not sunlight while these demons are what is called crossing my path, stalking as a group. 8 LAG 045. And that's 11:40 a.m. The state's fake sun is not both remaining over in alignment with me over the venue and aiming what is not sunlight. That's directed light over the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library and remaining over the Fontana Lewis Library over the roof of it, and remaining over me on the parking lot as I'm walking to the Fontana Metro train link, keeping in alignment with me as I go at whatever time of day that I go. All right, you're talking about remaining over the Upland Public Library over the ceiling and moving, remaining over me as I move inside of that library, which you clearly see as I captured in images through the while I'm inside of the library, and also remaining over what is right now the parking lot over me back and forth of the Ontario Village Shopping Center. And that is the reality of what they are engaging in, and that is a psychopath that it's acting like it's doing anything other than that. This is catching them with their pants down, if you will, and that is revealing what is the psychopath and the sex offender that's stalking you in a bathroom. 5FJU 394. I read their license plate. 241LL, directed light across Panda Walk, Demon. 8MEC 769, directed light across Panda Walk, Demon. 200RF, directed light across Panda Walk, Demon. This is the same conduct they were doing at Tom's and Starbucks while they're driving on the street, and I showed you across that truck that was intentionally placed there for those demons to engage in such conduct. They're demons. And I documented, who did I document? Amazon Prime, a demon, engaging in that same conduct and molesting my body while doing so, with knowledge of what I'm documenting, engaging in that act of sexually violent hostility while I'm documenting them. That was a demon representing Amazon Prime. The same one I documented just the other night under the fake moon in directed light, flashing light in directed light, just like I'm documenting this morning under the fake sun while I am at what is Holt Boulevard at 131 North Vine Apartments, and that demon is flashing light under the fake sun. That's what Amazon Prime is doing in the same exact environment. A demon, we're engaging and acting as a commercial actor. This is commercial stalking. Stalking on behalf of a government using your commercial means. 6TQR 941, 8FQM 130. 6KMB 463, all of them demons. Moving light across the building while they're crossing path. 4MXA 809, demon. 7XMK 047, demon. 7UHD 890. And stalking via the habit drive-through. I'll get this demon in a license, this demon's license plate in a second. All right, going through any drive-through is no form. The same exact fake sun is over you. The same exact impossible light activity occurring while you drive by. License 7N34006, a demon who knows he's being documented, creating more audible activity. And that's how you're going to criminalize everything, because you're going to play that tape back, and that's intentional conduct. License, just like entering inside of the bathroom, to stalk inside of that venue, that private space, with knowledge of your documentation on top of that. 8NQW 386. That's train activity while this demon of 6KMB 463 with this operation of his communication device ongoing is crossing path. That's Union Pacific. That's who's going to be prosecuted for that. By the way, Union Pacific is stalking in a bathroom as well. That's the reality of that. All right, a sex offender stalking with the state using a commercial means, a train, which is you're not going to hear inside a state of You're not going to hear that loud. You're listening to the volume. It's also occurring with simultaneity to a pacing demon. That's the P.O.C. 8RBG 953. Let's get this demon that's maintaining presence in the side alley. 8WIM 807. That's 11:43 a.m. 692 MVY. That's an Oregon plate, in case I didn't read that one already. All right, and showing you what is the fake sun. In the same way that Frontier Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Southwest Airlines fly over me, where that fake sun is located. In the same way you're talking about the sounding of train activity where the fake sun is right here. This is how you're prosecuting the whole entity. It is entirely deliberate conduct, and you are prosecuting every method of engagement in those elements, and that is the prosecution of Union Pacific, capturing what is the state's fake sun right over me. Amazon Prime is crossing path, making a U-turn over Bonita, right here where I'm at. That's that plane activity you hear. That's Amazon Prime, the same one that I already captured in an image, flying over me under the fake sun. It is currently 11:44 a.m., and that's the state's fake sun in perfect alignment with me while I'm standing in front of Elite Shipping, facing Panda Walk inside of the Ontario Village Shopping Center. All right, and that's where you're hearing that Union Pacific train activity, that's deliberate. Flying over me under the fake sun, which is following where I go, that's deliberate. That's a prosecution of a commercial actor who is stalking using their commercial means to do so. Okay? 8JVX 598. 8JYX 598. AB 273 handicap. And that is the harm and the detriment that they serve as a commercial actor, as a business, as a company, as opposed to the benefit that they would publicize on television, for example. This is the contrary. This is the reality. The contrary reality. The contradiction of that, as they're monitoring an American citizen who's documenting it. 6WED 546. And this is the true reality of such companies serving to harm. All right, engaging in corporate criminal conduct with the people of the state, the demon-possessed psychopaths who are pacing around under a fake sun right now. 8WQL 163. Demons. Alrighty, license 8LAG045 goes to make a purchase under the fake sun, is no form. Same exact directed light across the building while that demon crosses path. Okay, it is 11:46 a.m. Okay, license 8LWL 873. And taking an image of what is stalking. Communication device is what you're focusing on. Under the fake sun is what you're focusing on. And walking up to a door that clearly says closed, all right, in order to cross path, all right? That's what they're doing. And it's stalking. There is no form, even if it was open, all right? I'm showing you what is a demon. They're demons. P.O.C. It is license plate. They're maintaining presence. ALE 7308. That's an out-of-state plate. 395 77B3. 7B58480. Alrighty, you're witnessing what are demons, all right? And these demons, their demonic activity is centered on technology, and they are stalking in the path using whatever venue that they have at their disposal, all right, in order to stalk together. Guess what? The venues are stalking too. They're monitoring. The venues are monitoring as well. And nonetheless, what you're talking about is an ongoing perpetual maintenance of an environment. You can run whatever business you want. You can call it, we save lives for a living, i.e. a hospital. Guess what? Under the fake sun, you're going to prosecute, you're going to document all the same. You're speaking to what is the implications of what is federal policy and recognizing those who need to be snatched out of those positions. Okay? Fake sun over a police department, that's a neon sign. That needs to be a disbanded police department. Okay, you're talking about demon possession. Criminals who have yet to be identified as such in their true, genuine condition, and they pose a threat to society, and they've been engaged in concealed criminal conduct for a long time. And this is how you have what is kidnapping by law enforcement, where federal stalking is underway by the public entity. That's how you get that, by the way. All right, I'm gonna get this license plate over here. She's this old Asian lady. She's monitoring. I'm gonna get that license plate. You get this demon coming from behind the storefront, racing up, directed light across Elite Shipping, license 7BTT454. That's a psychopath. Stalking, directed light on the ground while he drives by. Directed light 7BTT454. All right, that's Satan, okay? And license plate 6NJG960. That's P.O.C. It is 11:49 a.m. YCB 410 8ZBA 084 7JTB 724 7JTB 724 54966F2 8ETK365 7ZYS 486 4LQX 364 APJC050 5UYK278 8PZW992. I think I read this one. 8VSY868. Yeah, I read that one. 6SOC080. 8CWC 990, BT 93K54. That's a paper plate on a white Honda Accord. And he's creating light activity using it right now. 7R08 483. 7MOC 569. All right, sitting in the middle of the street, creating light activity, these demons on Vesta. Vesta and Bonita, that is 6ROC 612. And understand what the license plate, the paper license plate on the white Honda, what he's doing. He's monitoring with these demons who are using their headlights, and the other one using their brakes while they're stalking in the path, and the fake sun is directly over Vesta now, okay? 7MBW934. Alrighty, showing you what is stalking in the path using their vehicles, and the fake sun is directly over. You're looking at a group stalker under the fake sun that is following me, and so is he. So are the rest of them. And again, that's license 7BOC 612. 6XXL 788. All right, and what is the demon doing at the opposite end? Using their hazard lights. That's flashing light in the environment. Monitoring with 7MBW 934. All righty, this is 560 Vesta, 556 Vesta, 552 Vesta. These properties over here, all of them are monitoring. All right, this is the street that I'm on, Vesta. I'm looking at what is Beverly Drive. 606. This is either 606 Beverly or 606 Vesta, because that's the street that I'm walking on, and the state is keeping its fake sun in alignment to me. So I'm looking at this apartment building. The address is 607 Vesta, 613 Vesta. This is the apartment building, and across the street are like duplex-like properties. 608, 610 on Vesta. This is what it's facing. But again, it's at the cross street of what is Beverly Court or Beverly Cut. So this is likely, their address is 610608 Vesta, those duplexes. And the same for this apartment complex. Alrighty, yes, this is Vesta and Beverly. I'm going to show you where the fake sun is. Let me get this picture of this sign. Alrighty, 8AVJ299, 8SSN980, 7XAK170, 6LUV124, 45485K1, 5YBG106, 7NMJ987, 7MBW934 is monitoring with the demon that I'm going to get with their flashers on. And I took a picture of what is directed light on the passenger side of the back of that vehicle that just drove by. 7XRE499, they're monitoring. And I also showed you what is the fake sun while I'm on Vesta. 5MGH075, no longer over me at the parking lot of the Ontario Village. 7ZVP417, moving as I move. 5DFA267, 8LO3734. Alrighty. Alright, stalking with hazard lights, sitting both in the driver and passenger side. I'm going to show you the fake sun as well, 7GTB328. All right, that is the ongoing terrorism by the people of the state. They stalk with an environment, facilitating and contributing to that environment. Flashing light in the engineered light is P.O.C. They are in front of Vesta Vias. That's the, I'm sorry, this is a different apartment complex, but this is a good location. Vesta Vias, the phone number is 652-646. That's the address. It's 652-646 and 640 Vesta. All right, and the opposite side are these apartments that are along Bonita and Vesta. These are the ones I've been reading the addresses of. All right, and that is blatant stalking in the path, okay? 7HRG290, I read that license plate already. I'm looking for an address over here. But these addresses, these apartments across the street are called Vesta Vias. And let me be clear, this is a facilitating venue. They're all monitoring. And as you can see, sitting outside in your car, creating light activity, that's facilitation for demons that are inside of any venue. They're monitoring with communication devices. It's entirely demonic. first of all. Second of all, this is stalking with the state that's whose fake son is right over me. That's what I took a picture of. The vehicle that's stalking in the path, engaging in that terrorizing act of stalking with flashing light. This is what the demon possessed are doing everywhere you go. They do it as a group. That is an act of terrorism. The corporate act of terrorism, identifying the demon possessed, identifying stalking conduct vicariously on behalf of the government, and doing so in the environment. The fake sun is right over my head while they're doing so. Okay, and it is 11:57 a.m. I would never be able to capture this as that was actually the sun, which would never be the sun that's remaining over the Ontario Over Family Community Library all day long. Okay, but period. Like I said, I would never be able to capture that in the first place if that was the sun that's over 215 East C Street, and I am at what is between Beverly and San Antonio on Vesta, okay? And you're stalking in the middle of the street with your hazard lights on, all right? That's terrorism, and that's a sex offender. They're stalking in the bathroom. It's the same entity, the same P.O.C, the same vicarious actor, and that is not separate. And that sex offender that's stalking in the bathroom is engaging in ongoing terrorism, stalking with the state, okay? It is 11:58 a.m. That is P.O.C. 8 ZBA 079, in case I didn't read that one. 6 UET 071. The Ontario Plaza Apartments. That's what these apartments are called. All right, those demon-possessed stalkers are using their flashers parked on the side of what is the Ontario Plaza Apartments that are at the intersection of Bonita and Vesta. Okay, and across the street are Vesta Vias with the addresses that I stated, 640 Vesta. All right, and this in the intersection of Beverly and Vesta, where directed light is appearing on the apartment buildings, on the trees, while demons are crossing path, including this demon 7NMJ987, who is engaging in such stalking in concert with the state. Okay, having a baby, which is a prop for a demon, understand that, because they're stalking all the same. Engaging and monitoring all the same. 8 AV, I read that one already. That is P.O.C. And that is the property. I want to make sure I get the name of that property. Ontario Plaza Apartments. That's the name of it, where they're sitting with their flashing lights, their hazards on. Sitting in the driver's seat, sitting in the passenger seat, just stalking in the path. All right. That's P.O.C. That's a psychopath. That's the psychopath that's stalking in the bathroom. Stalking you in the bathroom. License 6Y73158. And so I want to be clear with regard to what they're doing. This is the centering on the use of light. Those demons whose license plate I got using 7GTP 328, stalking in the path. They're at the upper end of Vesta with their hazard lights on. The demon whose paper plate that I read, he is walking, he's stalking in the path. It's not a coincidence. He's meeting me as I'm approaching that end of the street. They are waiting. Okay, this is a predator. He walks to his vehicle, using his vehicle as a light activity, sounds his alarm, opens the car door, audible activity, closes the car door, walks back. He is tracking me as I'm walking down the street, and I take a picture of him, and you're looking at the fake sun right over him while he is stalking. But what is he doing with regard to the use of light? The fake sun's remaining over my head. I'm being molested with what is directed light. He is using his flashing light on his vehicle as he sounds his alarm. The directed light is maintaining presence all over me, but you're talking about what is 8KTB 834, but I can't see that whole plate. You're talking about the two license plates that I read. They're both facing opposite directions, the brake lights and the headlights toward me. And they are acting in concert. This is light, a chain of light. Remember what they're doing, a circuit of light, maintaining presence around the perimeter, and they are literally stalking, waiting for me to approach. That's why you've got those two cars in the middle of the street as I approach them. That's why you have that group stalker walking to his car, using it as a means of flashing light as he opens it up. And that's why you have what are those group stalkers at the opposite end of Vesta with flashing lights. They are acting together. Okay. And what are you looking at? The fake sun that is remaining, literally moving over me in every manner of direction, and including as I'm walking down the street to get their license plates. And that's how you also know what they are doing. All right. It is demonic activity. They're stalking and they are monitoring with communication devices. And this is an ongoing act of terrorism. And this is a molestation of an unprecedented manner. Okay. It is currently 12:02 p.m. License 8VKR774. All right, and again, the addresses that I'm citing, the communities that I'm citing, 7VQH213, that's a matter of documentation, and they are representing the people of the state, all of whom are in relevant position. It's a massive method of documentation, documenting the minions who are in relevant position in the state of California, okay? And I documented that Ontario Plaza Apartments is a third-party facilitating venue. The fake sun is over their venue, documenting every single last one of them, okay? Identifying that venue, in other words. License plate. 7ZOC394. 7UHT760. Understand what's going on. The dog barking is audible activity. The dog barking is audible activity in direct light under the fake sun while that demon whose license plate I read is monitoring to that. Okay? Seven XRT120, 8TBP681. 8AHF678, 7RCZ839, 8NQE117, 8TEF568, 85059G2, 7ZIX584, 7BYZ314, 7TVH781, 6NJT888, 7XCN034, 6PVE381, and directed light across and on the sidewalk, and which results in a molestation as I walk through it. 231161 while I'm walking in the shade on the sidewalk, okay? While the state's fake sun is also remaining over. 8LXS142, 4CTW017. Looking like the sex offenders that they are, crossing path under the fake sun. 8LXS142. They're not concerned about any COVID. They're concealing their identity. They're scared that I'm going to take their picture. Okay? Let me be clear about that. License 8MTP063. 6NZT987. 8SUF093, 6KDM229, 7HIY414, 60032X1, 6SWW001, 8TBP120. It's 12:07 p.m. 4PXM849, 8KEF334, 6ELM748, 3UCN001, 7XRF909, ITFDB13, 4WRS494, 7ZKV096, 8AHM718, 87074E3, 7PDY188, 12:08 p.m. at C Street and Vine. (86224Z2) 6ZIM 905 6TDC 109 5HWB 592 7V 88940 5FHJ 687 6VAT 035 8JUG 534 7WFL 448 8KHW 405 8TJF 031 4DYR 170 7YVB 585 8MFJ 899 8BES 717. That is Frontier Airlines, flying directly over where the fake sun is, right over here over me at 12:10 p.m. (8WED 859 7JBD 154 8FLH 488 4JIS 256, monitoring with Frontier. That's flying over my head under the fake sun. 8JQL 664. (8BYV 096 7SSW 771 8CQS 604 10985F2 6CAA 246 8GMM 982 8FID 191 5DRM 683 7MUP 283. And let me tell you something, the state's fake sun that is over this venue that is called the Great Commission Church International is nothing but a venue. The state's fake sun and directed light present, which I already documented, and it is at 12:11 p.m. This is the documentation of the people of the state who are inside of a venue that's calling itself a church, and it's not a real church. First of all, this is satanic, and second of all, unless you're identifying yourself in the truth with regard to your fake god that is Satan, that's the only god that. This is not a true church. I just want to be clear on that. And it is nothing but a venue. That's the bottom line, where the state's environment is present. And you're not sheltered inside of any venue that you want to call a church either. You're looking at the identical behavior pattern. Demons inside of a venue that they name a church. In other words, let me break that down for you. All right. It is 12:12 p.m. and that's what I'm documenting. The fake sun over the Great Commission Church International at 215 West C Street. 6GBM 934. 7RQH 715. Exactly what I took an image of, the fake sun over the venue. Great Commission Church International. Okay. 8FBS 053. And unless their Great Commission is serving Satan and monitoring American citizens, it's not a genuine church. 7DND 114, 8FDB 626, 8CPD 814, 8UTG 747, 7TFA 415, 8BPF 058. Let me get this license plate over here. Closing their car door while I'm using my phone, taking a picture. That's a demon. 7JZV568, and that is GRMATIA. 8PGX487, 8HFJ942. All right, showing you what is the directed light. While the state's fake sun is in front of me, over my head, my shadow is appearing also in front of me on a brick wall. And that is double shadows, by the way. Okay, so I've got one hand up. I got two shadows of my hand. All right, speaking to the demonic environment, that is the Great Commission Church International, a venue, like I said. Those are demons that are in the background using their car doors to close them with simultaneity to what I'm doing. Demons, okay? At 218 C Street. It is currently 12:14 p.m. 7 EML 434. Yeah, and they're in relevant position under the fake sun, monitoring. 6BZN 859. By they, I mean the demons inside of that Great Commission Church, which is a venue. 7 TDW 180. 8 LMF 620. W25589. That is Ontario Improvement Association, engaging in activity creation, water hosing the sidewalk, the same sidewalk where I'm showing you what is directed light. Under the fake sun, that's P.O.C. My shadow is appearing in the shade, and they are monitoring, and there's no form. That's a demon holding a hose. That's, again, the Ontario Improvement Association. 6FCH605. And let me give you the license plate of Ontario Improvement Association, 70620B1, and that demon holds his phone studying it. Let me show you. What you're witnessing is a demon creating activity under the fake sun, bearing the logo of the Ontario Improvement Association. 7DCG826. That's what I took a picture of. Hosing the sidewalk down, like he's focused on that. He's under the fake sun. 7G25178. And that is the P.O.C. Ontario Improvement Association, that is the City of Ontario. 5HOF 569. 7NWS239. And that is what is called stalking. And the state engaging in what is stalking vicariously through the people who are engaged in what is commercial stalking. All right, using a commercial means to engage in relevant positioning, stalking with the state, using whatever company, whatever logo, brand you have, whereby you're maintaining presence, hiding behind that company name. You're going to drag that company name, engaging in terrorism and federal stalking, and practicing what is demonic activity, and is a sex offender, acting with that entity. That same commercial actor is going to be documented as engaging in federal stalking inside of the private space. The terrorist entering inside of the bathroom to stalk you. All right, that's Ontario Improvement Association at 12:17 p.m. where the state's fake sun is right over him while he's hosing down the sidewalk, which is what? Creating audible activity. While that demon is focused on you, there is no form. 8ZAS 821. Ontario Police crossing path monitoring to that, facilitating activity as well. 8ZAS 821 is monitoring with the Ontario Police who just crossed path. This is not a coincidence. That's simultaneous demons acting together. It's P.O.C. Uh, 43648D3. It's 12:49 p.m. 6MTW617. Engaging in molestation, reaching across the street to touch me with directed light while they're crossing path, monitoring my communication device that I'm on the internet uploading my podcast on right now. All right, 12:50 p.m. This is P.O.C. at the intersection of C Street and Laurel, where the fake sign is, by the way. Not over the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, not even in that direction. It is on what is the west side of that large tree, which is, by the way, west of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, while the state's fake sun is west of that tree that is west of the library, where the state kept its fake sun as I documented it, and then engaged in moving it and molesting with direct light, which it is doing right now while I'm sitting under the shade. The state is molesting the side of my body, the left side of my body with light. All right, touching with light, while they are also reaching across the street, which is not actual. These are demons, just like you saw them light swiping across that truck, swiping across Shiro's Liquor with directed light, impossible light activity. They're doing that and touching my body while they're driving by. It's 12:51 p.m. (6XCB096). 7JSR 504. this demon-possessed stalker that is also stalking in a bathroom, a violent sex offender, all right, that is stalking in a bathroom, all right, to engage in the ongoing maintenance of presence, practicing its demonic activity in the bathroom stall beside you, vicariously present on behalf of the government, that's stalking in the bathroom via helicopter, right? That's what is ongoing when the demon possessed are stalking in the restroom. This same one is engaging in, and by same one I mean that they represent the entity, and that third party is intentionally crossing path while they are reviewing what I am reviewing, which is the evidence that I'm going to upload onto the internet, that I'm going to prosecute the entirety of this entity that is a violent sex offender and is again molesting with directed light while they enter inside of the parking lot, and now sitting in relevant position, stalking with light using their brake lights in relevant position. In doing so under what is the fake sun at C Street and Laurel. That ongoing sexual violence is attributed to the entirety of that entity, and it is the same sex offender that is stalking in bathroom stalls. While they are hostile to the documentation that I published today, in which is the very profoundly present, obvious documentation of what are demons, okay? And that is the ongoing sexual violence by all of them while they are under the fake sun that is west of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, where I'm documenting the demons inside of that venue, and I am outside west of that location. The fake sun is not even in that direction, where it is remaining after 3 p.m. in order for me to capture the demon-possessed Ontario police driving in a circle underneath it while it's hovering over that vehicle, because that's what I captured. All right. If it was in fact west of this tree, like it is right now, where I am by the tree at C Street and Laurel, then I wouldn't be able to capture it in that picture at the turn circle. It wouldn't even be incorporated in that picture. It is showing you what is the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, the demon-possessed actors that are stalking in the parking lot right now, the demon-possessed actors that are sex offenders molesting with directed light while they're driving by, engaging in what is obsessive stalking activity together. Okay, and that includes license plates. Hold on, let me get these demons over here. Let's see, 4XUH664 and 7ZNS965. And while I'm over here, I'm going to get all the rest of these demons as well. They're patrolling through and molesting my body like they're getting away with something. 5AKA412, 8PEX398, 7EON038, 8JUU926, 8DVV322, BU10R98 paper, 4TKW613, 7NFE749, 7YFP935, 8LWL790, 6PBM883, 4EPL078, JLDEEY1, 8SVH551, 7KTG831, 8VJG108, AA05Z08 paper, 8XVM482, 7KTG831, 7WH8320, 02160G3, 8JSH394, 8SXA446, 7TYB631. Somebody's coming. All right, showing a video of what is engineered light while I'm reading the license plates of third parties. That is the direct evidence. 8XVM482, like I said, 8VJG108, 8JSH394, 8SXA446, 7TYB631, 8BSG816, 8JOJ691, 8NQA568, 5SDH362, 8TWD370, 8APA388, 7RIJ693, 7GBY710, 8NNW664, 8PNX353, 7CSP789, 7VYB977, 8VLP220, 8ACR500, 8UBZ772, 7PWC609, 64385Y1, 8ACR500, 8VLP220, so which one's license plate that I did not read? I think this one. Let me see. Yeah, 8FBZ164. All right, documenting what is the presence of that engineered light, and this is that which is also in conflict. I mean, so in other words, there is absolutely no argument, which I've already established as well, but I'm just going to break it down analytically. First of all, this is not the sun. I've already shown this through the cumulative documentation. You have the state that is remaining over my head with a light source, speaking to the ability to document whoever is in your path and any means of identifying them. And this is a state system, irrespective of your personal identity. The fake sun is over me in this parking lot. Engineered light is covering the venues of the venue, and not only that, their license plates, and you've got what is molestation by the demon possessed who are driving by, and I'm documenting their license plates. And not only that, I'm taking pictures of what is also impossible light activity, meaning even if you want to disregard the fact of all of the cumulative documentation of what is stalking with a fake sun, which is not going to happen, and that's unreasonable, and that's not going to happen, period. But like I'm saying, even if you were, you can take that out. You have what is that which is supposedly the sun that's hovering, first of all, over the parking lot, over me, which is pursuant to a pattern. And then you have what is light that is occurring out of nowhere in the shade, manifesting in the shade, a radiant orange light that is appearing in the shade of the vehicles, in between the vehicles, where the fake sun is on the opposite side. This is light that is never going to manifest naturally. That's not sunlight. That is the ongoing pattern as well. The engineered light with which the demons inside of the parking lot that are patrolling all around, monitoring the documentation that I'm reviewing, hostile to that, and engaging in a sexual molestation, as not only engaging in the elements while they're crossing path under the fake sun, intentionally so stalking and touching. You have what is the demonstration of a demon expressing hostility while doing so, because they're reviewing the same exact thing that I'm reviewing, because they're monitoring on my phone. And so I'm looking at what is that same engineered light that's in between these vehicles, impossible light activity. That's the same engineered light moving across that large white truck parked at Tom's Burgers, where the fake sun was right over me and not over this parking lot. And that is impossible to coexist with sort of migration of the sun. And I put that in air quotes. That's called stalking with light. This is why you're not able to disregard this evidence. But aside from that, you have what is also that same engineered light moving across and totally disconnected, absolutely unnatural and impossible, i.e. demonic. And then you have what are demons that are molesting me. And the fact that that is occurring right here in relevant position to these vehicles who are coated in engineered light under the fake sun is speaking to the prosecution of everybody who I just identified by license plate. Okay. You have it's 1:07 p.m. And that is speaking to the entirety of that entity that is engaging in that sexual molestation of my body, while they are also engaging in what is terrorism. The fact that it is occurring is terrorism. The fact that it is occurring amongst a multiplicity of faces. This is the absence of a specific identity. This is the operation of an entity. All right. And that is terrorism. All right. And you're talking about also doing it while you are engaging in federal stalking, monitoring my communication device on the venue of the internet, utilizing communication devices to do so. That is P.O.C. It's 1:07 p.m. 06792T1. 8LBK972, 6YFR181, 8S. I have to get close. I can't see that one. 8SOD286. 7LDV338. All right, capturing images of what is directed light just appearing on the street in the shade. 5VEV425, 8PTA303, 7UTV767, 8MNV495, BS59Y33. I'll read that one. And over here, monitoring, engaging in terrorism, because that license plate that I read, they're driving by, directed light moving across the wall beside me. 8GZU283. That's a pattern of something that is impossible to naturally occur. Not only is this the pattern by the entity, this is speaking to group conduct. This is also speaking to demon possession. This is the demonic engaging in criminal conduct. All right, showing you what are my shadows on both sides of me while 02314W1 crosses path. Fake sun is over the building. All right. Fake sun is west of the library, not over the library, not visible through the inside of the library. As I step out at the entrance, the state's fake sun is not going to be captured over the turn circle where it is right now. That is the P.O.C. while the state is moving its fake sun, just like it did yesterday, from 280 North Limit Apartments to the Wells Fargo and back to the 280 North Limit Apartments, and then at 4 p.m. remaining so low that I'm able to capture it while I'm standing in front of the elevator inside of the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library. License 8CRV 794 8W8 2156 7YVB 585 8FBS 053. And a group stalker is at the turn circle with their flashers on and the at the turn circle of the Wells Fargo, right in alignment with me. Okay, that is stalking with light. That's a demon-possessed stalker creating that light activity. Knows exactly where I am. That's terrorism. 7YVB 585. That's the pattern. Getting in their vehicle right now. State sounding plane activity. All right, engaging in presence under the state's fake sun while being molested with directed light. That's a demon that doesn't have any form. That is license 6MHT 753. It is 1:14 p.m. and in that video I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun. I'm showing you what is the state's fake sun in the same position I showed you in the morning, where it is directly over that corner where I'm standing. I'm showing you a pattern of what is clearly not the sun. 8KXL093 is loitering in relevant position. 23833M2 loitering in relevant position. While the state is moving its fake sun, keeping it in alignment with me, they are stalking as well. Okay, it is 1:15 p.m. Though that is the identification of the demon possessed who are tracking your every move in the same way you're looking at what is a fake sun. I showed you as I go from one end of a parking lot to another, that fake sun is engaged in real-time movement, and that is not the sun. The sun does not remain over your head everywhere that you're going. 6MHT753 then crosses path. That's a demon that's also demonstrating hostility, and I'm documenting every moment of it because I'm going to prosecute them. Those are terrorists. And if they're not American citizens, they're out of this country. BT76T29. That's how that works. And going to the ATM, by the way, going to make a purchase, being on the clock at work, guess what that is? Documentation, proof of presence. You don't have any shelter from prosecution where the government is monitoring. You're flipping that entire system on its head. I say buy whatever you want, have a field day, because that's documentation, and you're going to have a very long reach for prosecuting those who are monitoring with the government. It's 1:16 p.m. in that venue. P.O.C. at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, where the state's fake sun is present. Alrighty, at 1:16 p.m. (3:53 p.m.)
That is entrance into the private space. That's the state entering in, patrolling in, and also capturing images of what is directed light and their shadows. Not only is it impossible light activity, but you've got light activity while the demons walk by the bathroom. This is all intentional conduct, absolutely demonic and sexually predatory. It's 3:57 p.m. All right, capturing images also of what is my enlarged shadow that is in front of me as I am standing at the entrance of the Ontario Ovid, and a group stalker that is engaging in bathroom monitoring, operation of a communication device in directed light. Okay, that is in front of me, and also the fake sun is in front of me. You have what is directed light that is aiming inside of the depths of the library. All right, and you have what is also impossible light activity that is underneath. It's visible through while I'm inside of the bathroom, and that's what I captured images of. Not only are they entering the bathroom to engage in the elements, that's a violent sex offender, they are surrounding, that's the image of the group stalker I'm capturing outside in the environment, operation of communication device. This is all a matter of a sexually violent threat that is being posed by the entity all together at once. Remember, with knowledge of what you're documenting, okay? And that is swiping of directed light, another method of touching by the demons who are patrolling out of the entrance. All of them in directed light, all right? And that shadow that I showed you an image of while they're opening and closing the door, that shadow is moving. That's directed light. That's absolutely impossible light activity, first of all. And you're gonna remember the flip side. The directed light is in front of the entrance on the outside, and then the directed light is on the inside as well. That swiping with light is occurring outside. That swiping of light is occurring inside. This is all methods of touching and moving the engineered light inside while they are monitoring with communication devices. Those are sex offenders that are stalking all together, okay? Sitting at the shaded area of the 280 North Limit Apartments with a communication device. Sitting at the parkway in front of the 280 North Limit Apartments with the vehicle headlights on, monitoring with a communication device. Sitting at the Ontario Town Square with a bench, standing in front and perfect alignment with me at the Ontario Town Square. Standing in the parking lot of the Wells Fargo with the doors open like they're doing so that the fake sun is right over the Wells Fargo, where, by the way, I captured it while I'm walking to this venue after it remained over me at 706 West Holt, where at that time in the morning, it was already beyond where I'm capturing it right now at 4 p.m. All right. It is, this is P.O.C. and that's sexual violence, this entire entity. And this is just a sample of what they're doing, monitoring while I'm in the bathroom. That's why the environment is present in the bathroom. And that was Karina acting on concert of the entity, stalking in the bathroom, creating activity in doing so, and doing so with knowledge of your documentation. That's the prosecution of that sex offender. It is 4 p.m. on the dot. I'm gonna get the license plate of this group stalker, aiming headlights. This is the ominous stalking activity. My shadow remains in front of me on the asphalt. Let me get a picture of this. All right, my shadow remains in front of me while I'm walking in the shade, and the fake sun is diagonal to the Ontario Town Square. And again, the state is moving it as I move, okay? This license plate, that's BS25H73, and an old geezer who was stalking, waiting for me to walk toward that vehicle, is now crossing path going toward the vehicle. All right, and she's called what she is, an old geezer, because you're looking at what is Satan, okay? That's demon possession, stalking with activity, showing you what is the fake sun coming out of 280 North Limit Apartments, which is nothing but a venue where she is stalking with activity and engaging in bathroom monitoring. BS25H73 is in relevant position, and you're looking at what is the fake sun, and I'll show you impossible light also on the face of this venue where that old geezer that is demon-possessed stalking and monitoring. Again, a half a corner away from death, serving Satan till the end, okay? That's why she's referred to as a geezer. Directed light is inside underneath this exceedingly covered structure of the 280 North Limit Apartments. It's 4:01 p.m. All right, and true to form, I'm showing you what is absolutely impossible light activity inside of the depths of that venue that is 280 North Limit Apartments. And let me be clear, that demon-possessed stalker who has to be over 85 years old, you're talking about criminal conduct and despicable demon-possessed stalkers, and that's why she was referred to as a geezer, okay? You're dealing with the demonic. That's what you are witnessing me encounter and confront and prosecute. And you need to be clear and understand the demonic is not based on your age. And that despicable old biddy was sitting there in relevant position the moment I started walking, the demonic behavioral pattern. Then she starts walking out. But guess what? She's under a fake sun. Directed light, literally my shadow was appearing in front of me while I'm facing the entrance of 280 North Limit Apartments. That is in the shade, by the way. Let alone, period, you're talking about the presence of the environment. The state's fake sun is over
over this venue. My shadow is in front of me. Directed light is in the depths of the bathroom of the Ontario Ovitt Family Community Library, while demons are patrolling in and out, and their shadows are appearing underneath the closed bathroom door. The state going out of its way to illuminate that's all manner of a sexually violent threat. 280 North Lemon Apartments is a venue where they are engaging in relevant positioning the entire time by virtue of the presence, the location of this venue, and they are bathroom monitoring. Okay, that's why the venue is here, and that's exactly how you're going to prosecute. There is no difference with regard to relevant positioning, and they are in relevant position. The state is aiming light, going out of its way, going inside to create activity as well, such that the demon possessed who are surrounding with their communication devices under a fake sun and in directed light, their shadows appearing all over the place, speaking to their demon possession. It's a demonic environment. They are, while operating their communication devices, they are demons that are studying them. This is what they have in common. In this demonic environment, you have what is that totality of that environment that is speaking to what is an old person engaged in the P.O.C. period. All right. And I refer to the demon possessed who are exceedingly old, engaging in such despicable conduct as old geezers. Okay. It is 4:04 p.m. And this one with some, I don't know what she calls herself doing, but she's a stalker and she's monitoring with a communication device. And this is speaking to those who are not immune to prosecution, whether they are under the age of 18 or not. Stalking someone and being a sexual pervert, and she's probably not even 25. It's very, very sad. Kate captured images of her in this group stalker crossing path as I come. Directed light to the driver's side and large shadow reaching on the sidewalk to the passenger side. 8XRW090, demon possession. The stream of light, directed light behind that vehicle. Okay. I captured what is images of directed light, meaning my shadow is appearing inside of that venue of the 280 North Lemon Apartments. You'll see it on the edge of the couch. And again, the fake sun is supposedly setting. You're looking at what is impossible light activity, and you're looking also at what is the structure. This is not ever going to happen. This is state reaching in with impossible light activity underneath the depths of that structure, speaking to what that old geezer was doing, VEGAN 99. And you're seeing my shadow that's appearing on that potted plant. This is as I am facing the entrance and putting my hand up, and this is the state's engineered light touching all over the surfaces, and this is where she is walking out of. And you remember where she's walking out of is where I'm coming from relative to the state's fake sun. Like the state is aiming for all of that rich concentrated light. This is supposedly the sun, which is remaining over Upland Public Library, by the way. Remember all that. But aside from that, you're talking about the state's fake sun, which is in alignment as though the sun is setting, and while doing so, illuminating the entrance after aiming light all day long under the structure of that entrance door, then in the evening remaining over and aiming light into the entrance of that venue into the bathroom, all right, such that their shadows are appearing and light is illuminating inside from all of that coming from the sun. This is supposedly the sun. That is at that trajectory. That's also not going to occur inside of 280 North Lemon Apartments. The Ontario Town Square, you're talking, and I just took a picture of it, and you're talking about the covered structure. This is absolutely ridiculously impossible light activity, and this is speaking to demon possession of those who are aged, okay? And it is very, very sad because you're talking about literally, this is how I describe it because this is how it is. You are half a block away from death, and this is what you're doing with your life. It's very sad. So it's with the rest of your life. It's 4:06 p.m. and that's not funny. I'm laughing because it's pathetic. But I treat, in that regard, I am no respecter of persons, and this is the operation of Satan, and I am revealing all the masks of Satan. 4HLB054, demon-possessed stalker, all right? Monitoring, listening to every word that I'm saying, waiting for that precise moment to stalk with activity, as are all of them. This is why you have what is stalking with conduct. That's what she's doing while she's walking out of the entrance. Monitoring with that group stalker that was sitting at the driveway. All of them were engaging in ambush-like surrounding. This is surveillance by the people. Everywhere that I'm going, monitoring everything that I publish on the internet today. All right, engaging in monitoring together in the bathroom. It's a matter of public information amongst the demon-possessed and the government that's operating this federal stalking monitoring system. All right. And then coming out, remaining surrounded. And that's exactly what the light and what their positioning is revealing and acting in concert to that. All right. All of them together. It is. And that is terrorism while the entity is engaging in that. This is revealing the ways in which the demon possessed are engaging in this conduct. And you're understanding what is the prosecution for what is necessarily described as and prosecuted as terrorism. All right. It's 4:08 p.m. That is P.O.C. sitting in their vehicle monitoring 8BZH725 and with knowledge of my
noticing her, the demon then gets out. She's in operation of a communication device, but I'm just speaking to what is that real-time knowledge. As I look at her car and notice, then she's getting out. It doesn't matter. She's in relevant position. She can start running. As she starts running, she's creating light activity. She's in operation of her communication device. This is a psychopath that knows that she has been noticed and being documented. Okay, that's amplified audible activity. There is no traffic, in other words. This is speaking to a demon, 8BZH725. She's a demon. And let me tell you why. Let me break that down. This is so retarded. This is retarded. The traffic on Euclid Avenue is not going to compete with my ability to hear myself while I'm talking on my phone while I'm standing in front of 280 North Lemon Apartments. This is what the state is always doing. And that is also the hostility of an entity that's listening to me document that demon-possessed stalker in operation of her communication device in a demonic environment, engaged in terrorism and bathroom monitoring, 8BZH725. It is 4:09 p.m. That is P.O.C. Alrighty, that's train activity that is amplified. I remember where I'm standing. I'm standing right here in the entrance, after the entrance of the 280 North Lemon, where I took a picture of the license plate of that third party who was stalking with the state, 8BZH725, and where directed light is covering the grounds, and where the state just flew over in a third-party commercial airline plane directly over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, the same location where the state is aiming that, which is not sunlight, it is directed light, engineered light, speaking to the prosecution of those engaging in what is commercial stalking on behalf of a government. All right, that is P.O.C, and that's including Union Pacific. That's the guise under which that impossible audible activity is heard. It's 4:10 p.m. That's P.O.C. RNX 991, 4:11 p.m. All right, this is the demon that drives into the parking spot, reverses, makes a U-turn. 5Z467N1, and that demon who I took a picture of gets in that car. That underage demon. This one, 8BBX 979. All right, and again, that's bathroom monitoring. Getting into 52467N1. Okay, in operation of her communication device, that's what I captured. She's engaging in bathroom monitoring. 7JCU247, and was positioned upon my exit and got into that vehicle. Okay, and the arrival of that vehicle to pick her up, which is the form for stalking in the path. They have this need to look like they're doing something, and what they are doing is already made manifest. They're doing it in that environment, and there is no form in that environment. But these are demons, and this is public corruption. 8RNX991, group stalking with 8BZH725. Okay, it is 4:12 p.m. License 8P09769. All right, Metro 102 engaged in P.O.C. Got a group stalker in relevant position doing the same thing Amazon Prime was doing, monitoring at that venue with their hazard lights on. All right, that is speaking to the entirety of the entity, and you've got plane engines. The state is patrolling over 280 North Lemon Apartments, and that is Amazon Prime Air. That simultaneity of conduct, understand Amazon Prime was already stalking, present, hovering, just like I've shown you, and engages in flying over W391VL, crossing path and directed light while the state flies over by Amazon Prime. 8SN1187, the same. 8SNU187. In directed light. And let me show you the directed light that's just appearing in the middle of the street, because this is not the actual sun. You already know that, and that's not sunlight. Alrighty, they're acting with the state that was hovering. This is the literal breakdown of what they were doing. This is a demon-possessed stalker, first of all, flying what is an Amazon Prime airplane that is a commercial means of stalking, engaging in terrorism, demonstrating demon possession, all right, while they're monitoring with communication devices. And 8SNU187 is ready to engage in what is patrolling, stalking in the path, and the state has placed its light all around the venue, and Amazon Prime is stalking with activity. Hovering over the 280 North Lemon Apartments, a senior citizen apartment where geezers, just like I documented, are monitoring with the state. That's why you have helicopters flying over that, which is uncharacteristic, all right, and totally out of what would be the zoning for such a property, by the way. But these are demons that do not mind, okay? You are talking about the state hovering over this same apartment building day and night, as I have documented, hovering just like Amazon Prime was, and doing so with simultaneity to what I'm doing on my phone, with simultaneity to the arrival of demons who are walking around and driving around in directed light. In doing so, that is acting as they are acting as one. This is demonic activity. All right. The demon possessed are engaging in federal stalking. It is 4:15 p.m. That is Amazon Prime engaging in P.O.C. with the people of the state. It's 4:48 p.m. At the 280 North Lemon Apartments, P.O.C. All right, it is currently 5:24 p.m., but I want to go back a few. First of all, the state flying over me, over at the bench that I'm sitting on, which is facing the senior center and is abutting the 280 North Lemon Apartments, monitoring on my communication device what I was doing on my podcast. Second of all, the fake moon is directly above me facing the senior center. I took a picture of that as well. Third of all, you have what is the state keeping the parking lot dark. And as I move, this is stalking with light using the venue. All right. And the lights come on. And that's what I took a picture of. And that is right now, again, 5:24 p.m. All right, and so you can see this is a method of light activity that is also terrorism. The state does this, and this was occurring in Los Angeles County when I'm walking down the street on that specific street was La Ramada and Temple, I believe. And as I'm walking down the street, and this is when the state began this conduct. This is when the state began stalking, hovering in a manner that I became aware of by plane and helicopter as well. And as I would walk by street lamps, the lights would come on. And then as I walk back again, wondering if that was just a coincidence, as I walk back again, it would turn off. And then I would walk past it again, testing it, okay? And it would turn on and off and on and off and on and off based on what I was doing as I was doing it. And this is what the state is doing. It is, first of all, light activity. This is analogous to the same flashing of light by the demon possessed using their vehicles, okay? Flashing of light. Using any signage that they place around you in relevant position, signs. The building lights. Flashing lights. I've shown you this in video at Ontario Town Square. I showed you this in front of the property of Economy Inn at 2301. I showed you this across the street from the museum where the Ontario police were demonstrating their demon possession, creating light activity on their police vehicles. That is the same, light activity, okay? And doing so as I move is the method of what is stalking with light. Okay, that is terrorism, and this is the state surrounding with that ongoing demonic environment, communicating an unlawful threat, while the demon-possessed, that are the people of the state, are first of all monitoring. Light activity is for purposes of facilitation while they're monitoring with communication devices. Second of all, it's a terrorizing threat while the state engages in this pattern everywhere that you go. Okay. All right, showing you what are my double shadows as I'm walking across the street. That's a demon that's crossing path in a bike, and he has a shadow in front of him and a shadow behind him. All right, that's a demon, all right, crossing path in this demented environment, speaking to all of them, all right, and using the lights as a light activity. This is how you're going to sue, prosecute criminally and civilly any municipality. This is the city of Ontario, okay? They have demonstrated and pretty much shown what is to be a template for any sort of vicarious actor, but you're talking about this one in particular. You're talking about engaged in multiple levels of egregious conduct in concert and on behalf of the state, the city of Ontario, the municipality itself. So you have what is stalking with activity. That's a method of terrorism. You're speaking to what is, as I have revealed it, what is the pattern of conduct by the state. And the state is literally personified in everything that is surrounding, as it is stalking with light, as it is stalking with sound, that is audible activity, as it is stalking as an entity, all right? And in the demented methods therein, that is terrorism. And that's what I took pictures of as I walked through, preparing to walk through, and you're looking at what is dark. And the state is keeping it in this regard, in this method, in this manner on purpose, all right? And that is with simultaneity to my stepping as I move, as I walk through, the lights come on. 8 WGZ 405. Stalking with light. Understand that's a personification of the stalker, the entity. Omnitrans crossing path, the stalker.
all right, acting vicariously on behalf of the entity in what is a demented environment. And I will proceed with documenting the demon-possessed, all of whom are engaging in relevant positioning via the drive-thru, relevant positioning by traffic, in the same exact demented environment. These are demons, as I am naming them, countless demons engaging in the state system. And that is, in and of itself, the terrorism that the prosecution for the state of California is going to be responsible for, and also the people of the state. All right, each of them identified as individually, because that's how you're going to prosecute them. And the state cannot, there's nothing, they can't whistle for them in court. There's nothing that the state can do. You're literally chopping that entity apart as it has engaged in what is a system together, operating and targeting an American citizen while they are demented as one. These are demons. This is the government that is demon-possessed, made up of demon-possessed individuals operating the government. The people of the state of California, demon-possessed. All right, it is 5:29 p.m. License plate 8 U.S. 209, 8 ARE 467, 8 C. Hold on, I'll get this one in a second. Yeah, that's 8 U.S. 209. By the way, you're not waiting at a stoplight, engaged in any ordinary traffic when you have four shadows around you. You're stalking. 8 MYE 993, BU 64 P90 paper. 8 C 81673. I can't really see that one though. 5 VLM 745. 8 PDL 738. 8 CGM 513, I believe. 8 NJP 166. License plate, I can't really see that one. 8 KFB 174. And the demons that are stalking via a drive-thru, no different than stalking via the drive-thru at Starbucks. You can fill in the blank with the third party. It is the exact same demonic presence. There is no form in the environment. And you have stripped down what is identifying the psychopath. And molesting my body is 8NQG 983 P.O.C. That's what's so funny about them. They're stalking with triple shadows honking like I'm in the way, and they're stalking. 5 HJT 355. BK 18N66, 8 RUM 312. All right, and this is what is speaking to the necessity of that policy, because what you have are psychopaths and stalkers, the demon-possessed, that are operating as though they are in a normal environment, acting as normal citizens in normal society, operating by those rules when none of that normalcy exists, all right? Honking at me like I'm in the way and you are stalking me. This is the reverse. This is the psychopath in their alternate universe, and you're going to prosecute. 8 VRW 666. 4KBN 642. AL2LX54 paper. 16944J3. And let me also speak to, not only is that their twisted universe, but you're talking about what is also malicious conduct, as you are outwardly appearing, and this is the demon, this is the psychopath, honking like I'm in the way. They're actually honking, creating audible activity while they know I'm documenting. 8VXY251. This is the reality of what they're doing, okay? You have directed light appearing on the bushes and the parking lot and across the dumpsters while this demon is in the drive-thru. That's impossible light activity. And let me tell you the identity of that particular demon. I read their license plate. That's the asininity, all right? They're demons. They're unintelligent. They're just a pack of inferior stalkers. That is 16944J3. That's an act of terrorism. And by the way, the fake moon is no longer over the senior center where I'm sitting at the bench, where I took a picture of that. It's right here over the B&G Plaza, speaking to that psychopath that I just identified by license plate. License. A demon completing a purchase, documenting themselves at the third-party facilitating venue of Andy's Burgers inside of B&G Plaza. License 8VXY251 P.O.C. It is 5:32 p.m. License plate KIKA1. That's audible activity while these demons are lined up in a drive-thru and directed light is covering the grounds. Psychopath. 4KBN 642. Read those. 8 VRW 666. Yeah, I read those. All right, under the fake moon, showing you to be the psychopath and the sex offender that they are. All right. stalking you while your panties are down, engaging in surveillance, very, very invested and interested in what's going on inside of a private space. That's a sex offender and a predator. 26961W2. 6W53229. 5VQB190. Let me get that. 6W53229. That's correct. All right, and that is the incessant sound of a train while this psychopath is stalking at a stoplight in what is directed light. Okay. 8VXY251 completed a purchase, which is a matter of documentation as to who they are and where they are, and stalking with the state. All right, engaging in molesting my body, and they were also documented stalking in a bathroom today. All right, engaging in ongoing terrorism. All right, their P.O.C. and engagement and acting on behalf of the state did not stop right now at 534 while they drive off. Their prosecution was going to be more complete than that. License 6W53229. All right, I'm showing you what is a demon-possessed stalker, while Union Pacific is a means of audible activity. Group stalking at a menu, at a drive-thru, while I have 3 shadows around me and under a fake moon is called group stalking. And they're monitoring with little kids. Okay, you're going to prosecute that. Prosecute that method of engagement in the state's P.O.C. and terrorism, all right? License 7XWK803, 24190D3. 5NHT744. You have a demon standing in the middle of the parking lot with their operation of their communication device while the demons are surrounding in the drive-thru. They're all as one, okay? They're all monitoring together. Hurrying up to park. I'm going to make sure I hurry up and get this demon's license plate. All right, license 8XMT540, 5YQK751, 8TNS593, 7XER916, 8YBG312, 7SRD730. That is 4SPE650. And you'll see this demon, he's got 3 shadows in operation of a communication device. He's standing under a street lamp. That does not create 3 shadows. That's a demon that's monitoring. And he's monitoring with all these demons that I'm naming in relevant position inside of the same plaza. With the state that's stalking with the fake moon over his head as well. That's ongoing direct evidence as well. And he is engaging in criminal facilitation, acting with the entirety of that entity. That is the picture of the psychopath. That is the one that is stalking in a bathroom stall. Okay? Because Karina is acting on behalf of the entity. All right? While she is entering in, stalking with and by a government. That's who's standing in the parking lot right now. Understand the nature of group conduct. It's one demonic entity. They are one psychopath, a ginormous psychopath acting as one. And they're going to be prosecuted for that ongoing ceaseless crime individually. 8NIC599. 4VBL621. And that demon-possessed stalker, he is monitoring too the patrolling presence, the stalking and molestation while those demon-possessed stalkers are in the Andes drive-thru, because that's the reality of what those demons are doing. And while the demons are in there creating flipping burgers, they're stalking and monitoring as well. All of them are monitoring together. There is absolutely no forming. You see again, that demon has 3 shadows. It's absolutely abnormal light activity. License 7HJY239, 8WHH443, 05798Y2, 7ZDZ684. All right, molesting. This is how you know you're molesting. I've got 2 shadows going opposite directions. 7CNE915 is a sex offender. 7KVX160, 8AZZ214. And understand 7CNE915 enters in very quickly to make sure that they molest me. And I took a picture so that you can see what are my legs, my 2 legs that are facing in opposite directions. 1 leg veering toward the left. I'm not 1 leg, 1 set of legs veering toward the left, 1 set of legs veering toward the right. That is 4 legs while they are molesting with light. And that is touching. And the fake moon is directly over the B&G Plaza, not over the senior center, okay? 7LWS068. This is documentation of ongoing sexual molestation. All right, ATPZ734. 5ESN682. 8TTG211. Omnitrans, as you can hear, is present engaging in that molestation, eager to arrive, and that license plate, that 5:39 p.m. 8M53131 molesting, driving in slow motion, molesting my body behind. All right, fake moon is directly over. I'll show you that. And that is the fake moon that is in the exact same location where the state's fake sun is over me during the day. And that is the same fake moon that was directly over me while I sat at the 280 North Lemon Apartments. Okay? This is license plate. Let me get this one. Who is stalking under a fake moon, molesting, while you're group stalking at a liquor store. He's a sex offender. License 8PZX344 and a psychopath. That's why you got triple and double shadows, because you are a demon-possessed psychopath and you're a stalker, and I'm going to prosecute you in your true form. 7HCM281. Here comes another sex offender coming into touch, because all you're doing is stalking under a fake moon. License plate and coming into touch. That's a sex offender that's coming in, a predator that can't wait to touch you. License 8XFS256. P.O.C. It's 5:40 p.m. All right, inside of S.I.I.S liquor, group stalking, the one that molests while upon entering the driveway comes through to touch, just like 7TO639. I captured the images of that group stalker. It's an African-American male. It's a female that's driving that vehicle, though. And that's what I captured images of, group stalking. And I'm going to get this group stalker that's touching as well. It's 5:42. All right, molesting with that group stalker who makes sure to cover his face before he faces my camera because he knows he's being documented. A sex offender, just the same, 7LWB484, sitting around waiting to monitor while they're anticipating molestation of your body as you walk into a place, as you walk out of a place, as you walk into the parking lot, etc. That's a sex offender, all right? P.O.C. Satan is very perverted. Satan is a predator. Satan is acting through every single last one of them. License plate. See. It is 5:43 p.m. It is, I want to be clear on the surveillance cameras at S.I.I.S liquor. You're seeing what is patrolling in and out of the store. The license plate of the third party who is sitting in her car, operation for communication device, the African-American male with a long, the other one, the heavy set that I took a picture of, he has a braided mustache, not him. It's a skinny one with a long beard, 7LWB484. It's an African-American male. He gets out of that female's car, whose license plate I read. She remains in the car in operation of a communication device. She's monitoring. All right, going in is crossing path activity creation, light activity creation, crossing path with a communication device, monitoring, remaining in the parking lot, monitoring going inside of the store, all of them monitoring together under the fake moon and in directed light. All right, it is currently 5:44 p.m. Alrighty, it is currently 5:45 p.m. and I am capturing images, and the surveillance cameras capture the images of and I have identified by license plate. What are the group stalkers? They are sex offenders. All right, they are engaging in what is tracking your every move and keeping you surrounded, and doing so in concert with the state that is stalking, doing so vicariously on behalf of that state, and doing so with light. Okay. Making sure that they catch you in the path and also touch you with light, molest all over your body, okay? That is an unlawful touching, and it's very demented by demons. 7LWS508. And that's what that heavy-set Latino male, he's not unique. He's engaging in the same exact demonic activity that is accomplishing federal stalking conduct with the government and with the people of the state. You have what is engaging in obstruction of justice, a demon that's engaging in the conduct and trying to avoid being identified. This is why he gets out of his car and faces his back to me. That's why I took a picture of that. He goes to the side, places his mask on, and then proceeds to face what is my camera. All right. And I'm not holding it up saying, geez, take a picture. I'm holding it up like a normal person. I could be doing anything on my phone in their twisted universe, but these are demons that are monitoring me, and they know that I'm documenting them. 6MBD980. And I'm just showing you what you're paying attention to, what you're looking at are those who know that they're being documented. It is currently 5:46 p.m. All right, capturing images of a demon that's walking in front of me. He has 4 shadows, one behind him, both to his left and his right, and in front of him. He is monitoring with a communication device. He's in operation of it. He is on camera walking inside of S.I.I.S liquor as well. He is monitoring on the sidewalk while he walks in front of me, monitoring in concert with the demons in their vehicles. 5EJJ0 5EJD110, TRKBZL3, 6ESE480. 8VMH844, 5ZKU739. And these are demons that want to touch all over you. Okay? 8VWH844, 8NIC599. And let me bring it all the way back home. Let's be clear. The third party who I'm capturing, bringing her children with her to engage in such sexual molestation of my body during the day, stalking and monitoring, doing the exact same stalking and terrorism and sexual violence as these third parties are, with foreshadows all around them engaging in that terrorism. I'm documenting her right now. She is not done with engagement in a pattern of conduct, and that's how that goes. Okay? 7KVX160. 8XMT540, the people are maintaining engagement vicariously in concert and on behalf of the state. You are not participating for that minutia of a moment. The people continue to engage and you are acting as on behalf of that entity. The entity is continuously engaged in that P.O.C. I am continuously documenting you engaging in what is stalking, molesting, stalking in a bathroom, and terrorism, 24190D3. Harassment, kidnapping, that's going toward the whole entity. So I want to make sure I bring that home. Understand that? License 5NHT744, which is exactly why you do not want to be documented as engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring. Being identified as what is an unprecedented level of a sex offender, never before legislated over. 6W5, monitoring with children. 6W53229, okay? Engaging in all of that sickness, that demented conduct, with children in the car. Operation of their communication device, studying it, monitoring just the same, engaging in that demented group conduct. Oh, let me get this sex offender that's coming around the corner wanting to touch me. License 8JHX768. All right, I showed you the foreshadows of that group stalker in front of me. That's the same demented stalker coming around to touch all over. That's a psychopath and a sex offender. Look at those pictures, because that's the person that you don't want touching. And this is what the entity is doing all day, touching all over you with freaks like that, with foreshadows all around their body. Stalking. Stalking. It is 5:49 p.m. and that's going toward the prosecution of the entire entity. The entire entity. 8AMN134, 3WUU357, 7W09352. 3 shadows in front of me, 1 in front, 1 to my left, and 1 to my right. That is speaking to what is directed light. It is 5:50 p.m. I'll be uploading those images to my website. Well, it's uploaded to the Google Drive, and on my website I publish that information, everything documented for the duration of that entire day, everything I documented, because it is all connected. What I document on the podcast and what I capture via pictures and images, by picture and video. All of it is the total, complete picture of what is the state engaging in this conduct, and that's why it's important to look at it together in its totality on the website. All right, looking at the video documentation on YouTube is one thing. You are not seeing, though, even though that documentation is radical enough. I mean, you're looking at what is some unheard of conduct as I'm revealing it, and it's raw. That's unedited footage. I'm documenting it and publishing it, period. And it is evidence for what is the prosecution of a government that is clearly engaging in what is terrorism. As you can look at it yourself, this demented conduct is occurring based on the criminal activity and the demented actors of that. They incorporate a government, okay, acting in concert with the people of the state of California. That is called terrorism. This is a whole other level of gang violence, if you will. It's a whole other level. All right, one that has never been legislated, and it needs to be, and it shall be. Yeah, looking at the light activity as I'm revealing it, somebody walking in front of you, but that's just one. Understand, that is the exact light activity, and what I'm talking about is the images that I was referencing I took while he's walking in front of me on the sidewalk, and he has shadow in front, behind, and to his left and right, 4 shadows. That is exactly what the deputies had while they were kidnapping me inside of the state facilitating venue, because that's what it is. The fake sun was over that venue and remaining all day. The state was aiming direct light, not sunlight, which is never going to appear inside of those venues. You're not having sunlight beaming inside of those jails. Certainly not at a downward trajectory diagonally across the wall. The state was engaging in the same exact pattern of conduct while I was kidnapped. 8NQH061. Why? Because the 3 criminal elements is the practicing of demonic activity. 8EFFE535. And these are the demon possessed. 7VBY774 that engaged in kidnapping. The San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, all of them, the entire department is plagued with demon possession. And that is why that was ongoing. And this demonic activity is that which is also engaging in what is federal stalking. These 3 criminal elements is what is demonic activity amongst the demon possessed, and it is accomplishing what is federal stalking. They are monitoring with communication devices as well. And that's why you have what is demonic activity ongoing while I'm kidnapped, and I don't even have a communication device on me. That's why you have that, because they're practicing demonic activity. This is absolutely out of the pit of hell. It's satanic. Every single deputy, every single medical worker, every single inmate, the people of the state were engaging in kidnapping, all right, invested in kidnapping while they were driving me to and from the court, all right, for what is a fictitious prosecution, keeping me kidnapped. Obstruction of justice is what this is, while the demon possessed were engaging in the same exact conduct. The only difference is that I was kidnapped by the state. I was handcuffed. I was forced to wear for the uniform for when you're in jail. All right, that's the only difference. It did not change. The state's fake sun was over the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department vehicle, over the jail, over the court, wherever I remained, all day long. Directed light inside of the venue. That's the only difference. 6X33244. 7KGE845, 6GQN483, 643NKE, that's Oregon, 7ADZ820, 4POF153, 18170, I can't really see that one. That is what the entity has been engaging in. This is what this is. It's satanic. And for you to be surrounded by demon-possessed individuals who have 4 and 5 shadows, in doing that, that is absolutely designed to freak someone out. That's designed to try to scare you, all right, while they're monitoring you. And let me be clear, psychopaths derive a pleasure out of that. And but for documentation, and they're awaiting being prosecuted and humiliated for that demon possession, which they want to flaunt in front of your face when they're not being documented, when they think they're getting away with kidnapping you. But when you're documenting and preparing to be prosecuted, then they're trying to suppress that. You can't suppress it, though. And I've already captured it and published it and documenting it. And it is evidence for that prosecution. And it's called terrorism. License plate 7MBV932. But this is, that's terrorism while the people are following, they're stalking you, and they are in that condition. That sort of light activity surrounding you everywhere. That sort of freak weirdo stalking you in a bathroom, because that's all you're doing under that which is not the sun and that which is not sunlight. Filling the venue, which is never going to occur, even if the sun was visible over that address, for example, 215 East C Street. Okay, the sun's not remaining over that venue all day long, first of all. And second of all, the sun is not aiming light underneath a structure. Like the sun is sitting down on the curb, aiming light inside of the building. That's what the state engages in. That's how low the light source would have to be. Not the light source, the sun. Okay, that is treating as though the sun is not above everybody and every structure that's built by man, and that it's down here above the street lights with us, like where the street lamps are. That's what the state is treating light as. All right, and this is the psychopath that is monitoring the documentation. I am prosecuting every mother that is engaging in federal stalking with the government. I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care if you're talking about you got to breastfeed while you're engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring. These are the decisions that you're making as a demon-possessed stalker, and you shouldn't be in that position anyway. And I'm going to document you and prosecute you accordingly, because you're engaging in what is sexually violent, life-threatening conduct with children in hand. You're presenting a harm to them, and you are unfit in that regard, period. You're a violent sex offender. You're unfit in that regard as well, all right? So you're talking about documenting and prosecuting an entity whose pattern of conduct as they're crossing paths on one street in Upland, their engagement in the P.O.C. In other words, I'm still documenting the Upland Police Department. I was still documenting the Ontario Police Department while I was in Fontana and Upland. As I went to Los Angeles, I was documenting them because it doesn't stop. All right, 8GCW186, it does not stop. All right, you're talking about, and why does it not stop? Because the government's criminal system has not stopped. That's why. That prosecution's not going to stop either, okay? It is currently 5:57 p.m., and that is ongoing sexual violence by psychopaths who are engaging in that sexual violence with knowledge that they are aware of documentation, i.e., that's what I'm speaking of. They are aware that you are documenting them. That is speaking to the creation of a policy to prosecute every single last one of them. Okay, including those commercial actors in those venues, whatever venues they are. And I have documented many of them. And it goes beyond that as well, because you're talking about monitoring with communication devices. It goes beyond that venue that I have isolated for purposes of understanding what is the template, that P.O.C. that is underway amongst the demons that are surrounding me in a particular venue. They are monitoring across the whole entire block. All right, in their houses, in the businesses all around, and in vehicles in traffic. All right, and that goes without saying. What I have done is I've isolated it, given a picture of what is the baseline for starting that federal prosecution and identification for purposes of understanding where everyone is, based on where I am, where everyone else is, whether you're at work, whether you're making a purchase, which is a form of documentation, wherever, traffic cameras everywhere, and having what is that long reach of an arm to prosecute as many people as possible who are acting on behalf of a government. All right, because the government's prosecution is one thing, the people's prosecution is another. 8GBL 166, 7C 6729, and as you see, that's a substantially similar. I didn't get the whole plate. They are very much worthy of that prosecution and identification. 8RHV 170 as the dangerous sex offending stalkers that they are. 8NHH 342 violent sex offenders. Okay. Violent sex offenders. License 36473F2. 8VLP237, predators to the very end. And in every way, they are true to form, because that's how Satan is. Satan runs until he cannot run anymore. So this is literally running off of the cliff, okay? License 8WUC 614, operation of a communication device. And you know the environment that you're doing that in. That's federal stalking. And that's a psychopath that's listening to every word that I'm documenting about them. And you have what is literally driving off of the cliff, but that is the impermissible threat. The government that will not stop. That's speaking to that life-threatening conduct that mother that's bringing her children comes to participate in. Threatening my life and sexually violating me and doing so with your kids. You're going to snatch those kids. She has no business in that position. 5FOF 525. All right, and that's the baseline legal analysis for somebody engaging in federal stalking, by the way. 7SVZ014. Law enforcement has no business in that position engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring. They're demon-possessed psychopaths. They're stalkers. They're criminals. All right? It is the same analysis. You can fill in whatever type of demon-possessed stalker you want to. All right? But by virtue of engaging in that system, you are an unfit parent, doing so with your children. All right, and you're actually a very dangerous one, being of that condition, demon possession. And it is literally demonstrated while you are monitoring me and sexually violating my body and my person with knowledge of what I am documenting as I do it, acting with a state that is a equally demon-possessed psychopath, flying over me in helicopter, hovering over me in airplane after airplane. You are entirely unfit for your position in law enforcement, for your position in the medical field, for your position in the legal field, whatever that may be, for your position as a parent, all right? And any occupation that includes children, that's how that works, okay? Being prosecuted with the government is no joke. It is 6 p.m. on the dot, all right? And this is going toward what is the creation of that necessary policy where you're going to prosecute a government and prosecute the people, all right? That is P.O.C. Here's the state's demonstration as to why they'll be snatched out of those positions. That's AMR. I could have told you that. I didn't even have to see it. That's American Medical Response, a demon-possessed stalker, and directed light. Engaging in criminal facilitation, monitoring with the people. 6:15 p.m. And by the way, what AMR, that's audible activity that UD Pacific is the forum for, by the way. While American Medical Response, first of all, sounding the sirens and lights while they're driving and approaching. The moment that they are crossing path, stops the sirens while they are still approaching traffic. The purpose of the sirens is for people to get out your way, right? There's supposedly an emergency and you need everyone to clear the road. They're approaching traffic and they stop the sirens. Not because of anything that has to do with the traffic. They are monitoring. I just want to give you the logistics of what they were actually doing, what's actually surrounding them, which is traffic, which is the grounds where that's why you keep the siren sounding. But no, they stopped the sirens because they were crossing path with me. That's creation of activity. All right? Starting activity after there is no sound. Starting sound where there is no sound. or stopping sound as there is sound, for example, starting and stopping your sirens, that's called activity creation. In doing so, as they are at the same time, the simultaneity of conduct, this is a demon, okay? That's demonic, and they are monitoring. That's a demon engaging in monitoring conduct, all right? And that is, first of all, so the bottom line, that's a demon-possessed stalker driving an American medical response vehicle. There is absolutely no form. You are in an environment that is absolutely unnatural because systematic monitoring is underway, and I happen to be documenting it. American medical response is another one of those engaging in what is stalking, acting directly on behalf of the state while I am being molested with directed light under what is a fake moon, while the state is amplifying the sound of a train while it is also crossing paths, using its lights, criminal misuse of those emergency vehicles to engage in such demonic activity, which is terrorism, all right, while they're engaged in federal stalking in violation of 18 U.S.C. It's 6:17 p.m. That's P.O.C.